games being played. This one goes back 94 years. And here are the Michigan Wolverines. They're undefeated. They're 10-0, ranked first in the AP poll, second in the coaches poll. The last time Michigan was voted a national football championship was 1948. And hello again, everybody. I'm Keith Jackson, along with Bob Greasy. Lynn Swan is on the field. We turn now to a quarterback to talk about defense. What does a quarterback know about defense? Well, he's the guy looking down the barrel at it all day.
Well, a quarterback, that's the first thing he looks at. And the first thing I see are two darn good defenses in the top 5 in the nation. The quarterbacks today are outstanding. For Ohio State, Stanley Jackson and Joe Germain could probably start for most of the teams in the Big Ten. The key for them today is time to throw the football. For Michigan, Brian Greasy has been outstanding. The leadership and the poise the last few weeks has really been there, Keith. But for him, the offensive line and the running game are key to Michigan. And it's going to be one of those games that you love. It's going to get back down to the big uglies in the trenches.
That's right. Well, here's a fellow who has more than a handshaking acquaintance with some of the better cornerbacks across recent history of football, Lynn Swan.
Well, Keith, this is a game and a matchup between David Boston and Charles Woodson that I've been looking for all year long, and every scout, every receiver and defensive back wants to see this matchup. Let's talk about number 2 for Michigan, Charles Woodson, All-American Heisman Trophy candidate. He has 6 interceptions. He breaks up passes. He makes tackle, and he intimidates teams from throwing consistently to his side of the field. On the other side, David Boston wearing number 9. He has 67 receptions and 13 touchdowns. This young man has all the gifts. He has deceptive speed because he loves too long. He goes up for the ball, and he's issued a challenge. He mentioned Woodson's name. And to Woodson, that means he's got to go after him, Keith.
All right, Swanee. The weather, well, it's winter in Ann Arbor. It's gray, it's cold, but it's relatively dry.
Somewhere, some poor slob's punching a time clock. He don't know what he's missing.
Wake up, come on, get up, son. We gotta go.
Meet Dan Wolf, champion bull rider. This is what he does. This is what he drives. Pretty nice life. Chevy S10, like a rock.
How do you get this equipment to these troops when there's a river between them? Build a bridge. Problem solving. You need it now in college. Learn it now in the Army Reserve.
The new wizard
can remove grout,
clean a golf club, sharpen tools,
Cut right through this screw!
Soon your TV will have over 500 channels, almost enough to show you everything the new wizard can do. The new wizard, built by Black & Decker.
One of my customers was telling me that he never knew what was going to break next on his car. But at least he knew this. Whatever it was, Napa would have the parts to fix it.
Now there's an easier way to buy the parts you need at Napa, the Napa Card. An instant line of credit that gives you 90 days, same as cash, on purchases over $200. Plus, it's good at thousands of Napa Auto Parts stores and Napa Auto Care centers. The Napa Card, another way Napa keeps America running.
Keep America running.
Think we're ready?
30 run-throughs? Yeah.
Room 708 wants to win the account that will make him famous. Room 610 wants to fix the typo she just found. Room 315 wants to iron his meeting clothes, including his socks. Room 412 wants a pizza. Business services by Marriott. When you're comfortable, you can do anything.
The Ohio State Buckeyes won the toss of the coin. They have deferred to the second half. John Cooper sends his kicking team out. And John Cooper, you see the numbers. He has not had a lot of luck against Michigan, but he's had enormous success otherwise. 10 wins in 4 of the last 5 years. Lloyd Carr, who stepped up from defensive coordinator to become the head coach at Michigan, his 3-year record is outstanding. He's yet to lose to Ohio State as a head coach. This is one of those days for an old friend whose voice rang across this countryside, Bob Ufer, being remembered this weekend by so many as a recording of his memories have come out. And on a day like this, he would be higher than the biggest mountain in the world. It's kicked deep. Michigan's Anthony Thomas returning it. And he shakes one, shakes two. He's got a big return all the way out to the 45-yard line before the kicker, Dan Stoltz, knocks him out of bounds.
And Keith, what Michigan did is they faked the reverse. Charles Woodson, number 2, is going to come from the left side of the screen. I don't see any Buckeyes that really went with Woodson, but the fake was there, and Thomas with a big return.
Thomas broke that one tackle that got him started, and once he got out in the open, he's a big guy, 229 yards, a 43-yard return, the longest of the year for Michigan. From the 45-yard line, the ball is handed off to Chris Howard, and Howard is taken down by Kevin Johnson, an outside linebacker. The Chile starting lineup for the Michigan Wolverines offense across the front. They could dictate the pace of this game. Tackle Jeff Backus, deemed last week. He's back in there okay. The receivers, wideout Streets and Shaw, had a good outing at Wisconsin. Running back, good receiver, Clarence Williams. He's still out. I'll give you the backs in a moment. It is second down, 11. The ball is thrown to the outside to Chris Howard. Howard gets it up across the line of scrimmage all right, but then takes a wicked lick from Antoine Winfield, a cornerback who is the number 2 tackler on the Ohio State defense. The Michigan backfield with Brian Greasy, who's been remarkably steady. Chris Howard has been like a loose lightning bolt over the last couple of weeks. He has really been playing well. But here they come to what they don't want to do. They're in 3rd and long, 3rd and 8. The pass is away. The pass is incomplete. It was on the hands of the tight end Jeremy Truman, but Gary Berry hit him a solid lick just as the ball arrived, and Michigan will have to punt.
Jeremy Truman is the 2nd leading receiver. The Wolverines like to go to their tight ends. Berry, Fred Pugich, alerting his defensive backs, look for the tight ends.
Jason Benson gets a high-hanging kick away, averaging just under 40. It hits at the 5 and bounds into the end zone. Ohio State will possess the ball out at the 20 for their first snap on offense. The Chile starting lineup for the Ohio State Buckeyes across the front. The coaches had to rebuild that unit. 3 sophomores and a redshirt freshman, tackle to tackle. The receivers, definitely a strength position for the Buckeyes. Boston and Miller, 2 of the best in the conference. In the backfield, the quarterback combination of Jackson and Jermaine will be interesting today against the pressure of the Michigan defense. So Jermaine stands on the sideline as usual. Stanley Jackson is in to take the first snap of the ball game for the Buckeyes, and he drops back to show pass. And will pull it down and take off for 2 yards. He was looking around. He looked for Boston. Boston deep. He was not available. The Michigan defense across the front. This group could determine the ball game, especially the defensive end, Steele and Williams. The linebackers, what the front guys have missed, these people clean up. Number 93, Sam Sword, is broad. Deanna Jones, the rapier. The defensive backs, cornerbacks, Woodson and Weathers will be busy. Hendricks is back from a mild injury. Marcus Ray is a hitter who could have a big day today. It is second down and 8. Jackson rolling to the left. Steele's after him. He got a block around the corner, and he is quick to pull it down and take off, and that's the dimension that worries every defensive team. And he is about 2 yards short of his first down.
Keith, some early observations about the Buckeyes. The first 2 offensive plays, both pass plays. And both pass plays were designed to get outside. Not stay in the pocket, but get the quarterback outside. The receivers recovered. Stanley had to run the football.
It is 3rd and 2 from the 28-yard line. Things were not in place the way he wanted. so rather than take a chance on 3rd and 2, he calls a timeout, and it burned the play clock.
Sing too when you try Chili's Ranch and Filet, a beautifully carved 8-ounce tenderloin, slow grilled to perfection and placed on awesome blossom strings. Served with skillet potato cakes and grilled veggies, only at Chili's.
It's time to set the record straight on resale value. In full-size pickups, there can only be one king of the hill. There is, and his name is Chevy. Chevy, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. Long live the king.
Michael Jordan is CEO Jordan.
The pressure's on Penn State, UCLA, and Washington with conference titles and bowl bids on the line. There's regional action next.
Ohio State with the play clock clicking down. Stanley Jackson called time. They've got the play set now and the people they want for the play. And so here is 3rd and 2. No score in the early going at Michigan Stadium in Ann Arbor. Jackson hands it inside. Play is big. Pepe Pearson blows it all the way to the 45-yard line before Tommy Hendricks can bring him down, and there was a big hole on the right side of center.
Nice spike by the fullback, Matt Keller, Keith, getting him free in the hole. From behind, the advantage of the timeout made sure that Ohio State had a good play. 3rd and short, big first down.
The well-advertised wideouts yet to see the ball. Pepe Pearson has come into a wide position, and Jackson back looking around, has time and throws, and dropped by David Boston. Let's check with our colleague Lynn Swan about field conditions.
Well, Keith, all things considered, the fact that Michigan hasn't been on this field for 3 weeks, it's actually in terrible condition. It's hard because it was frozen. There's a hole in the middle of the field. It looks like you could drive a Jeep into and park it for a week. Now, the tarp doesn't cover the entire field. So the Michigan sideline is a little wet there. It doesn't cover the end zone. So both end zones, the grass is a little bit longer. It's wet. It's lying down. If a receiver or back is running along the back of the end zone, he might slip on this. But this is a hard field. Traction is not going to be great, Keith.
All right, Swanee. 2nd down and 10. Blitz coming. Doesn't work. They got it off. Gave it to Keller. Jackson felt the blitz, saw the blitz, took the blow, but handed the ball to his fullback and was slow to get up, but Keller saved the day.
This is great timing. Dhani Jones times it perfectly, but Stanley Jackson just dishes the ball off just in the nick of time. Prevented a fumble, Keith. If Dhani Jones had been there a second sooner, it could have been a fumble. Michigan defense tops in the nation in several categories.
3rd down and 8. Shotgun for Ohio State. They flushing. He's dangerous outside, but he won't get his first down. He hit the chalk at about the Michigan 49-yard line.
Well, there was nobody open downfield, Keith, and this is the extra dimension that Stanley brings. Here's a look at Boston and Woodson on the outside. He's just standing there. Now they're fighting. They were saying some stuff early in the week. Boston said it, and then Woodson back at him. They're just getting some frustration, and it's good that they get rid of that early in the game.
It's amazing, though, it didn't get a flag.
Yeah, exactly. Settle down and play football.
Bartholomew is the punter for Ohio State, and a good one. He's averaging better than 45 yards per punt. Charles Woodson is waiting for it. That's a high, long kick that goes into the end zone. So it'll go in the books at 49 yards. The clock shows 10:33 to play first quarter. And there is no score in this 94th meeting between Michigan and Ohio State.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
At National Car Rental, we believe that when it comes to renting a car, there's really only one place to go. Because at most major airports in America, National gets you in your car and on the road fast. So what are you waiting for? Let's go. National Car Rental.
Budweiser. I can't believe they went with the frogs.
Louis.
Our audition was flawless.
Louis.
We did the look. Huh? We did the tongue thing.
Mm-hmm.
That was great.
Louis, frogs sell beer. That's it, man. #1 rule of marketing.
The Budweiser lizards. We could have been huge.
Hey, there'll be other auditions.
Oh, yeah, for what? This was Budweiser, buddy.
No.
This was big. Those frogs are gonna pay.
Let it go, Louis. Let it go.
Where's your father?
You don't want to know.
Here he comes.
Whoa! Whoa!
Watch out, Dad!
Yeah. Here he comes.
Introducing Chevy Venture, the only minivan that offers a remote control door. Pretty convenient, huh?
Whoa, Dad.
What?
The all-new Chevy Venture is here.
Let's go.
Good idea.
ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Chevrolet Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. By Microsoft, where do you want to go today? By Valvoline, the #1 choice of America's top mechanics, people who know use Valvoline. At Marriott Hotels, Resorts, and Suites, we believe when you're comfortable, you can do anything. Music ringing across the festival in Ann Arbor. And they, I'm sure, will push toward a record crowd. Over 1,000 credentials for the media at today's ball game. First down for Michigan. Woodson is the man in motion. He's in on offense. And Greasy rolls the other way. Turns it inside, and Bryan picks up close to 5 yards. Jerry Rudzinski tripped him as he made his cut. The Ohio State defense up front, they have a true freshman defensive end, Rodney Bailey, who got his start today. He's an exciting newcomer, and this is a big start for a freshman. Linebackers, a good solid group, 213 total tackles among them. Katzenmoyer with 84. In the secondary, Antoine Winfield, the cornerback, is the leader back there. The others are young, but they've grown every week. And I think you've already seen they will put a hat on you. So both defenses will go searching a lot today.
Well, as we mentioned early, Keith, I mean, the offensive players get all the notoriety, but these two defenses are outstanding. Last year in this ball game, only 1 touchdown was scored and 5 field goals. So that's the history of this series.
Chris Floyd, #7, carried on that last play, and the noise you heard was Floyd colliding with Katzenmoyer. They'll see each other a lot this afternoon. It is 3rd down and 3. Swing it out. It's Howard slipping and falling at the 25. Trying to make the cut, couldn't do it. Feet went out from under him. Winfield was right there.
Just good vision by the Buckeye secondary, especially Winfield. Michigan does this a lot. Bryan will look downfield and then dump it off behind the line of scrimmage to the back, and Winfield saw it.
The punter, Vincent, is in. His first kick was 53 yards. This is #2. Get a little pressure on him. He doesn't get all of it this time. It's going to be a good field position for Ohio State as David Boston does not fair catch it, makes the catch at the 41, and they stick his ear right in the ground. Aaron Shea was down to get him in a hurry. Next Saturday at 4:30 Eastern, 3:30 Central, 1:30 Pacific, the Skins game on ABC Sports. 4 of the top players on the tour right now: Tiger Woods, Tom Lehman, Mark O'Meara, and defending champion Fred Couples, and all were members of the U.S. Ryder Cup team. They're down in the desert playing the Skins game. A lot of money floating around that baby.
Yes, sir.
Just outside the 41. There's movement along the front, and it draws a double handful of flags. Jim Kimmerling is the referee. He's a good one. Roger Haber is the umpire.
Ball. False start. On the offense. 5 yards. First down.
Ed Peters, the linesman. Tom Hoffman, the line judge. Tom Bryan, the field judge. Side judge is Tom Clark, and the back judge is Scott Helverson. Back him up 5, make it 1st and 15. Rob Sweat is in there, replacing Clint Copenhaver right now at a linebacker position for Michigan. Woodson comes over to cover Boston. Look at him right in the eye at the top of your picture. Didn't tuck it. Didn't have to running play. James Hall, number 56, slashes in there to get Stanley Jackson. And here's Swanee again.
Well, Keith, you know, in big ball games, sometimes in the first couple of series, you're a little uptight and nervous, and I think David Boston is just a little bit nervous in this ball game. He drops a pass that he would never drop in the course of this season. And one of the things he did as soon as he dropped the pass, the next third down situation came along, he ripped off the gloves, threw them off, and said, I don't need these. All right, as soon as he settles down, you're going to see a lot better play from all of them, including David Boston, Keith.
He's on the near side now with Weathers covering him. They throw it short underneath to the big tight end, John Lumpkin, and Big is correct, 6'8", 260. And he will pick up 10 yards on the play up to the 45-yard line. Rob Renus made the hit on him.
Stanley Jackson on the season, Keith, 61%. He has no interceptions this year. 20 sacks, Keith, and that's a lot more than Joe Germain has. You'd think Stanley wouldn't be sacked very often because of his running ability, but sometimes he holds the ball a little bit too long and gets sacked. But he's had to run here a few times early on.
It's 3rd and 5 now, and he's back to throw again. Looks for Boston, lets it go the other way, and it will be a first down for D. Miller. D. Miller working against Andre Weathers, and he caught the ball, reached, and got the first down.
Good first down pickup by the Buckeyes. Keeps the drive going, Keith. Early on, get some momentum for your offense. Here's a look at Miller. Just does a little stop route. 3rd and 5 or less. If the corner is off, that's an easy completion.
He's become a very good receiver this year. First down at the Michigan 46-yard line for the Buckeyes. Marcus Ray comes up along the line of scrimmage, picks up a man there. They go the other way for Boston, and it's to the... And Boston had actually broken free from Woodson and had him by about 2 steps.
Michigan was messed up defensively, Keith. Ohio State did a lot of shifting there, a couple of things that Michigan may not have seen before, and there was some confusion. Stanley had him open, just overthrew it.
6:50 to play first quarter, no score. Michigan already owns a share of the Big Ten Conference title. Ohio State is playing today to try to claim a piece of it. And Penn State still in the hunt.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you can see Stanley back in the huddle saying to Boston, said, I overthrew you, I had you, we'll get it.
2nd down and 10 from the 46. This is Pearson. And Pepe slashing through the left side. Gets into the secondary where the cornerback Weathers had to make the tackle. And he's close to a first down.
The offensive line of Ohio State doing a nice job opening up some holes on the left side over there. Walter and Murphy. That's Gilbert, 64. Goldston is 50. And a nice piece of running by Pepe just to hang in behind those big bodies and wait for the hole to open.
Across the front as they measure for the first down, it's just short. The Buckeyes go 305, 300, 290, 295, and 305. So they can rumble with you up there.
Goldston, number 50, had been the center for most of the season, about halfway anyway, and then moved back out to right tackle. And Kurt Murphy moved into center, and that has really seemed to solidify this offensive line.
Everyone's been talking about the Michigan defensive front and how superior they are to Ohio State's offensive line. Bob, you and I know when you play in these kind of ball games, that kind of stuff in the newspaper all week long serves as motivation. And it looks like the Ohio State offensive line has accepted that challenge.
So far, you're right. Keller is hit in the backfield by number 93, Sam Sword.
One of the things that Michigan does, number 93, is the middle linebacker, Sword. They'll bring these linebackers and up in there and run them through. If they see a running play, they run through the gap. And that was the, it looks like they're going to punt, Keith. You never know when they're in this field position.
They went from 3rd and a half, a very short yard, to 4th and a good 2. And Bartholomew is in. And he's going to try to pooch it down there and kill it deep. It's a tail dragger, though. If they let it hit, it'll go into the end zone. Kevin Griffin was down there, but just could not get a piece of it and stuff it. And so Michigan will get the ball back at their own 20-yard line.
Isn't that a pretty sight?
So how many miles? 50?
90.
90?
90,000 miles. Shoot, that's just getting broke in for Chevy.
Is that a scratch?
Scratches give character.
The best long-term quality of any full-size pickup belongs to Chevy.
Women like character.
Chevy, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
Whew, what'd you step in?
I like to be in control, and I always felt I was in control until I tried to stop smoking. Nicorette was my kind of help, there to serve. My needs, my schedule. When I got a craving, Nicorette helped me through that craving. I called the shots. Nicorette was just the bullet. So I never lost that feeling of being in control. After all, Nicorette couldn't have stopped smoking without me.
Nicorette gum helps you fight your cravings, your habit, your way. You can do it. Nicorette can help.
This holiday season.
Bond here.
Loose lips.
Was it something I said?
Sink ships. On December 19th, the world belongs to Bond.
James Bond.
Tomorrow Never Dies. Rated PG-13. Starts December 19th.
The Panasonic Razor. Shave wet or shave dry. Your choice. Your shave. Rinse clean. Work hard. Play hard. Shave your way. Panasonic.
One of Michigan's favorite plays that Ohio State has been looking at all week is this play right here. A little off tackle by the single back. This is Howard running around it. Now the play action that comes off of that, the quarterback will fake to him and then roll back to this side. The two receivers going deep down the sideline, and he has a choice of throwing to the tight end short or the wide receiver over the top. You can be sure that Ohio State has been well vested in that play all week long, Keith.
All right, here come the Wolverines to a first down at their own 25, 45 to go. No score first quarter. Buckeyes show 5 men up front. Give the ball to Chris Howard, and Howard gets 3 yards. Damon Moore, number 13, strong safety, gets up there in a hurry, and he was there involved in that one.
Brian versus the last 7 ranked opponents that Michigan has played. Did a nice job.
High streets way wide to the top of the picture. Greasy throws underneath to Howard. Howard going to the sidelines. Great lateral pursuit, and if there is anything that Ohio State can do, those linebackers will go sideline to sideline as well as anybody. And it was Katzenmoyer first to get to him.
And when you stop to think that Katzenmoyer is 6'4" and 260. He's a middle linebacker, 260. He runs 4'6".
And the other one out there was 35, Rudzinski.
Katzenmoyer is just a young teenager. Keith, he's only 19 years old.
And says he is going to be playing at Ohio State next year. Cleared that up. It's 3rd down and 2 now for Michigan. Little short pass thrown hard. Trying to get it to Charles Woodson. And it was Katzenmoyer and Moore who broke it up.
Katzenmoyer in particular, Keith. Ryan's looking to the outside. Katzenmoyer sees it and gets back. All they wanted to do was pick up the 1st down, and Andy stopped them from doing it.
All right, Benson is in for his 3rd punt. 53 and 35 on the first 2. David Boston is waiting. He's standing back at his own 35-yard line and now walking up more. So if he handles it, Ohio State should have very good field position again. And that's going to be accepted at the 40-yard line by Boston. He's hit down at the 43-yard line, and it's Aaron Shea for the 2nd time making the tackle. Win tickets to this year's Rose Bowl. Get online with ABC Sports College Football and solve the word puzzles to enter. All on America Online. The key word, ABC Sports. Ohio State's had very good field position from the outset in this first quarter. 4:16 remaining. They accept this possession at the 43. Jackson continues as the quarterback. Give the ball to Pepe Pearson. And Pearson, who's had a couple of good runs, and that field's starting to break up a little bit now as these running backs make their cuts. He's out to the near the 47 before Tommy Hendricks makes the tackle.
Ohio State offensively in the Big Ten, they're the #1 passing team, and averaging 33 points per game. Keith, early on in this game, if anybody has shown some life, it's been Ohio State. They've made some 1st downs, except for the opening kickoff by Michigan. The Wolverines really haven't done anything.
Woodson and Boston squared off on the near sideline. Jackson looked for Boston, comes back to look for him again. He's got all day, and finally Sweat goes after him, and the pass is completed to D. Miller for a 1st down. So there was utterly no pressure on Jackson. He had a week to look around, and he finally found Miller.
Well, and there was nobody open. It was a 3-man route. Everybody went down about 5 yards and stopped. And when the ball didn't come their way, they just stood there, and nobody was pressuring Stanley. So he's covered initially. Finally, somebody got after the quarterback and forced him to throw it.
It's 1st down for the Buckeyes at the Michigan 45. The pressure being put on now by Ohio State from good field position. And it is Pepe Pearson slashing up the middle. And they're opening some holes in the middle of that Michigan defense. Marcus Ray and Deanna Jones combined for that tackle. But they've taken Rennis out of the middle, and Steele and Williams, Josh Williams, yet to be heard from.
Murphy and Gilbert, 64. Fullback does a nice job of getting a piece of Sam Sword, 93. It's all you want, Keith. 5 or 6 yards on 1st down running plays. You'll take that anytime.
You get 6 yards on 1st down, you're going to win the ball game. 2nd down and 3. This is Pearson again. That's another 1st down. He's belted out of bounds by Tommy Hendricks, but moved the chains.
The wide receiver on that side came back. He did a nice job of cracking back. A little tossed. Pepe, 9 touchdowns this year, averaging 66 yards a game. He's had 14 career games over 100 yards.
Rob Sweat, linebacker, came off, kind of holding his hip. Copenhaver goes back in to replace him. Pearson's carried 5 times now for 42 yards. 1st down Buckeyes at the Michigan 33. Jackson. Glenn Steele covers the ball. Eric Wilson got into the backfield, messed up the play, knocked the ball loose, and Glenn Steele recovered it.
Take a look at the replay. Going to be a little bit reversed. He's going to hand it back. The fullback grabbed it out of Stanley's hands. The Buckeyes have lost more fumbles, 17, than any team in the Big Ten this year.
Yeah, that's a total of, what, 30 now that they put on the ground, and they've lost it 17 times. And yet they're ranked 4th in the nation. On first down from the 43-yard line, it is Chris Howard. And there isn't any daylight there. He gets 1 yard, and it's Winfield Garnett, that big 305-pound tackle from Riverdale, Illinois, that nailed him down. 2:15 to play in the first quarter. Both these teams are too good for the other side to help them. They don't need any help.
Yeah.
You start laying it on the ground or giving it away on turnovers, you're going to get beaten.
Too good defensively.
Yes.
So, yeah, exactly right.
Second down.
Illegal!
9. Joe blitz coming. Greasy steps away, gets his pass off. It is by Jeremy Truman, the tight end. That's a heck of a catch by Truman. Wow.
It's a nice job by Bryan, staying in the pocket and waiting. The linebacker comes up the middle, and he jumps out of his tackle, waits for the receiver to get there, Truman, and gets the ball to him. This could be a play, Keith, that gets Michigan off the schneid. They've been 3 and out the first 3 possessions.
This is their first down. It is at the Ohio State 39-yard line as Kevin Johnson almost got the sack. And they go back inside with a run. Chris Howard, and again, there's just nothing there. He'll get 2 yards on that carry. One of the reasons they're not getting much running room in there is that those linebackers, Johnson and those two in particular, Johnson and Katzenmoyer, step up and plug a hole. And when those two guys plug it, it's plugged.
Well, and Freddie Puggich, the defensive coordinator, one thing he wants to do is stop the Michigan run. You know, get 8 guys up there if you have to, but stop them and force them to throw. Here they come.
Thomas is the running back. He's at the top of the picture, probably the hot man. Greasy sack taken down by number 1, Gary Berry. So they brought everybody, including the Poodle, and they got him back at the 46-yard line.
You can see everybody walk up into the line of scrimmage, but here is Berry over here. He's the free safety. Watch him as he's going to come in, as Bryan's going to turn his back to him. There was 2 guys there for Floyd to block. He picked the outside one, and the biggest one, I might add. Maybe he was trying to do Bryan a favor. Says, I'm going to pick the biggest one, let the littlest one go.
3rd down and 16. Time about gone in this first quarter. Greasy's pass bounced, penalty flag thrown right at the point where the pass was released, and it's almost surely going to be a holding call against Michigan, because he threw it right at big old Jeff Backus, and that's what it's going to be. So the Wolverines get the turnover and get a break. And now they're backing up. 2 seconds remaining in the quarter. No score. It's kind of like watching the fuse to see how short it's getting.
2 good teams, Keith. It's, you know, you're going to have a feeling out period, and that's what this is.
So the holding call is defined against the Michigan Wolverines, and that's going to move the football all the way back to the 36-yard line. And it'll be 4th down and a mile.
3rd down.
I mean, 3rd down and a mile.
Here's where Mike with the board just signals into Bryan. Call anything you want. 3rd and, what is it, 35? 34. 3rd and 34. You call your own play.
The back in motion, throw it out there to him. Here he comes back on the inside. Can't break that first tackle. The key to that play is you break the first tackle. By then you've got help. But it didn't work. He's taken down at about the 42-yard line, and we've played a quarter with no score.
A lot of industry experts told us that the passenger side was the best place to add a 3rd door. We got still more advice insisting that the driver's side was the only logical choice. But as you can see, we let it all go right in one ear and out the other. Introducing the new Dodge Ram Quad Cab. The rules have changed.
State Farm presents Rules of the Game.
We're talking about illegal forward passes. In this play, the quarterback passes the ball when it's beyond the line of scrimmage. What is the penalty?
America has always had a love affair with cars. And since 1922, we've been there whenever you've needed us. That's why we're America's favorite auto insurer.
And as we celebrate our 75th year, we, the agents
and employees of State Farm,
would just like to say thanks for being there too.
We're talking about illegal forward passes. In this play, the quarterback passes the ball when it's beyond the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty and loss of down from the spot of the pass.
Rules of the Game has been brought to you by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You're watching ABC.
My name is Bond. James Bond.
The name is Bond.
James Bond. Bond. James Bond.
James Bond. The name is Bond. James Bond.
There's only one true
Bond. James Bond.
and only one Heineken. See Tomorrow Never Dies and get 007 gadgets when you see this Heineken display.
Bill Nye the Science Guy can be seen next Saturday at 6 a.m.
We go to the second quarter of play with Michigan now 4th down, and they'll punt it away. Jason Benson in for his 4th kick of the day. His first one was the best. The other two have been 35 and 33. And waiting for it is David Boston for Ohio State. Damon Moore drops back to block for him, give him a little help, a little convoy up the field. They're going to try to chuck the speedsters up, keep them away from him, so you'll have a chance to catch it. But there's going to be pretty good coverage here, and he's going to leave it go. It's short. Now it starts to roll back up the field, and there's a penalty flag on the field. Here's John Saunders.
Keith, Tennessee and Kentucky today in this Burger King update. A couple of great quarterbacks, including this one, the sophomore Tim Couch finds his man Derek Homer. The 36 touchdown pass Couch has thrown this year, and Kentucky jumps on top of Tennessee 7-0. Keith.
That's another one of those old knock 'em down, shoot 'em up, bang bang rivalries. Holding call goes against Ohio State. Nobody touched the punt. It just rolled dead, but in the process of the punt being made, there was a holding call. Jermaine is waiting on the sidelines and see whether or not to send him in. He's coming, it looks like.
And the decision, Keith, is made by John Cooper. It's not made by Mike Jacobs, the offensive coordinator. And I asked Cooper about it. He says, well, I just get a feel. You know, it's not 2 or not 3 or not 4 possessions. I just get a feel for when I want to make a change. And it looks as though after 3 possessions that Joe Jermaine's going to get this series.
Well, Stanley Jackson played the first quarter, and Jermaine comes on to start the second. And Ohio State will have the football first down at their own 17-yard line.
The difference is, for Michigan defensively, not as much threat of scrambling around and running around, but Jermaine is a pinpoint passer. He is outstanding.
And he's throwing on first down. And it is incomplete. Intended for David Boston. Andre Weathers just went up over the top and slapped the ball out. Clean play by Weathers.
Plain and simple. Just a stop route right in front of him. Weathers comes, makes a good play. Only a 2-man route. They sent the 2 wide receivers out on the 2 corners. He threw away from Woodson to Boston, and Weathers made the play. Jim Herman said Weathers has been doing that all year long.
Second down and 10. Wisniewski, the tight end, is moving. And the ball is given to Pearson. And Pearson will get it out to about the 20-yard line for 3 yards. Here's Swanee.
Well, Keith, in the first quarter, the matchup between Woodson and Boston hasn't materialized the way we thought it would, but they've been very physical. Woodson is on them, making sure he makes the contact, and then Weathers, look at Boston going right back after him. All right, you're going to have a little bit of this. Now on the other side, Weathers, he's not going to let him go without making him pay a price. Right now, David Boston is a frustrated receiver, needs to pull back a little bit, Keith, and play his ball game. It is definitely going to be physical, but he has to keep his head on his shoulders.
Yeah, he's going to get a flag if he keeps swinging, keeps punching. Out of the shotgun, Jermaine with a little extra time lets it go down the sidelines, and D. Miller was held up over there by Weathers and had no chance. And so in the first possession with Jermaine at quarterback, it's 3 and out.
Go ahead and run the telestrator. Go ahead and run it. There's nobody open. Run it downfield. Now he's ready to throw. Stop it right here. Nobody's open. Nobody down here. Nobody is open. That's what Joe Jermaine was looking at.
And so he threw it away, and it's punting time for Bartholomew. Brent has 2 kicks so far, 49 and 38. Charles Woodson is waiting. Michigan should get its best field position out of this reception. But this Bartholomew is
he's a weapon.
Oh my goodness. Back to the 22-yard line goes Woodson, and now he's tracked down and tackled at about the 28-yard line by Kevin Griffin. That was a 55-yard punt by Bartholomew and a 3-yard return.
Even though Dodge Ram is the bright red gold standard of pickup trucks, we're always improving things. We've made our available Magnum V8s even more powerful. We've improved the already world-class interior. In all, we've made 130 improvements to the Ram lineup since introduction, including this one, our new flow-through ventilation system. New Ram Quad Cab. The rules have changed.
Hey guys. Need a smile? Call Domino's.
Yes!
A Domino's deep dish does the trick. An inch thick with cheese baked to the edges. And now at 3 toppings, $8.99. Any second, $4.99. But we deliver more than great pizza. At Domino's, we're delivering 1 million smiles a day.
When you come into Home Depot, there are professionals in every department.
We have journeyman electricians,
Master plumbers.
We've got roofers.
We hire the most experienced people in the market. You've got people in every department in our store that have come through the trades or through the pro business.
Doing what they love, doing what they know.
I cannot let you leave here not knowing how to do it correctly.
We're expected to be the best.
It's not, I read a pamphlet on this and I think I know what I'm talking about. It's, I know this product and I'm going to show you how to use it.
One day, the world's greatest magicians all together for one spectacular night. Princess Stephanie and Bronson Pinchot host the all-new Champions of Magic, ABC Monday.
This 94th meeting between Michigan and Ohio State is evolving toward what so many of these games have been, field position. And that tremendous kick by Bartholomew puts Michigan all the way back on its 28-yard line. They had been thinking 40, but boom, he puts them back there. Punter is very, very important in field position for these kind of football teams. This is Chris Floyd, the big blocking fullback, getting a carry, and he's up to the 35.
The first quarter numbers, Michigan didn't do a lot, only 1 first down. The Buckeyes had 4. The 1 turnover for Ohio State, the fumble, did not hurt them. Only 4 rushing yards in the first quarter for Michigan. Michigan has been a slow starting offensive team, Keith. They score. Their biggest quarter of the year has been second quarter.
Second down and 3. This is Howard. He got past the people in the middle, and then Berry comes up out of the secondary and popped him. Rudzinski got his legs. But it was Gary Berry, who knocked him back from the first down stake and may have prevented him from picking up the first down.
I've said it before this year. I've been impressed with this Ohio State defense. They lost 8 starters off that team from last year. This is what they've done recently since Penn State 5 games ago, but they have plugged in new guys at defensive secondary with 3 new starters. They all can cover and they all tackle.
Chris got a good mark on that and got his first down by about 6 inches. So put your football at the 38-yard line, first down Wolverine. Campbell comes in, the tight end, and Floyd comes out. That means you've got a double tight end alignment here with a single back in Chris Howard. Streets and Shaw now with motion wind up together at the bottom of the picture. Greasy back looking for him. Lets it go. He's got Shaw out there. And it is almost intercepted by Antoine Winfield.
It's a great play by Winfield. They had 2 receivers on that side, and they were trying to run Winfield off. And the trailer was who Brian was trying to get the ball to. Winfield recognized what they were doing to him, came off, and almost picked it off.
Bob, it's unbelievable. I'm watching that play from the end zone. I see exactly what they're doing. I'm looking at Winfield. He wheels off his man. Very few defensive backs have the awareness in the ball game to make that kind of play. That's spectacular.
He is outstanding.
Second down and 10. Here comes the reverse. They start it right, give it back to Howard. Howard is turned upside down by Antoine Winfield. The man is everywhere.
Winfield has been outstanding, Keith. Take a look at how he compares with Andy Katzenmoyer, the middle linebacker, who's supposed to make a lot of tackles. Winfield is a corner. He's supposed to be covering receivers. He came into the game with only 2 fewer tackles, and he has more sacks than Andy's got. He is a player.
He's 5'9" and 180.
That too.
Moyer missed him. Greasy stepped away. The pass is dumped off to Thomas. And Anthony Thomas will pick up a Michigan first down at the Ohio State 41-yard line before Winfield knocks him out of bounds.
Well, there's not going to be anything easy in this game, Keith, for the offensive teams. These defenses are so good and so aggressive that it's not going to be normal. You're going to have to improvise sometimes. And there, Brian does a nice job getting out, avoiding a sack, and making a completion for a first down.
11:40 to go in the first half. It's becoming the Antoine Winfield show. This is Floyd. Chris Floyd, waging in the middle, picks up about 4 yards. Rudzinski, number 35, is a linebacker from Centerville, Ohio, making that tackle.
These 2 teams defensively, Keith, are 1 and 2 in the nation in scoring and in pass coverage, pass defense. They don't take many prisoners.
From the 37, second down. And it was Thomas. And it was Winfield, the first man to hit him.
John Cooper said of Winfield.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah, John Cooper said of Winfield earlier in one of our games, he says, he is the best corner. He's playing the best football of any corner that he's ever coached. And Sean Springs was here last year, an All-American, but he clarified that to say he's playing the best football right now.
If he maintains this kind of pace through the entire ball game, he's Superman. Get him a phone booth. Third down and 6. Passes away, and it's off the hands of Aaron Shea. And Shea takes a wicked lick from number 13, Damon Moore. Oh, that's an intimidating kind of thing there. He's just doping.
One of the things that Ohio State is doing is they're looking for the Michigan tight ends on third down. This is the route he's going to cross. This is the opposite safety from where the tight end is coming from. They're having the opposite safety look for that crossing tight end. And he comes up. That's the second time he's come up and hit him.
Fourth down. Here's the punter, Jason Benson, his 5th of the day. It's a very, very high kick that should be caught at about the 14-yard line and is by Gary Berry. So they'll put it at the 15 officially, and we've got a timeout.
To get the most out of your digital satellite system, you need DirecTV. And for expert advice and guaranteed low prices on your new system, you need Circuit City. We're your DSS experts, and we'll show you how to see more sports, movies, and pay-per-view than on any other system. Right now, get $100 off professional installation or get a self-install kit free with any DSS purchase. Circuit City. You can't get a lower price. We guarantee it.
Trailers for sale or rent, rooms to let 50 cents. I'm a man of means, by no means king of the road. 2 hours of pushing broom buys an 8-12 4-bedroom. I'm a man of means, by no means king of the road.
Can lightweight aluminum cylinder heads enhance engine performance? Is it possible to see the future in a rear-view mirror? If race cars inspired us to use a double wishbone suspension, can you handle that? These are the questions. This is the answer. Dodge Stratus. Starting under 14.4, 18.4 impressively equipped.
ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Chili Grill and Bar, home of the Big Mouth Burgers. National Car Rental. So what are you waiting for? Let's go. By Miller Lite, now official beer sponsor of the NFL. And the new Dodge. It's about change. All right, at 10:16 to go in the first half. No score. Michigan, Ohio State. Buckeyes back to the offense now with Joe Germain, first down at his 15-yard line. Michael Wiley is the tailback. Germain will throw it. He won't either. He is caught behind the line of scrimmage by Glenn Steele, number 81, who got him by the shirt tail. And then it was Williams who put him down.
Well, again, Keith, coverage was there downfield, and this is the thing that Germain doesn't give you, and Stanley Jackson does, is the escapability. There's Steele fighting on Goldston. And Josh Williams, number 91, I think, got a piece of it.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, all right.
Josh Williams didn't play last week at Wisconsin because of a minor injury, but he's fresh. Second down, 11 now for the Buckeyes, and they go to a shotgun to give Germain a little more room and time. Pass is out, completed to Wiley out of the backfield, and Wiley will go down about the 20-yard line. And that'll be third down and 5 coming up with Marcus Ray making the tackle.
Ohio State is used to some big plays. We talked about it earlier. No big plays so far. They've tried some, but there's been coverage. That time, Mike Jacobs, the coordinator, says this. Throw it out to Michael Wiley. Let him see if he can break a big play for us. Michigan defense playing very well.
Kenyon Rambo, number 4, has come on the field for Ohio State. He is a burner at an outside position. David Boston has been pretty quiet so far today. He's been involved in a lot of scuffling, but so far not much. That's a great move by Germain to get loose, and then he throws it away. He had Wiley on this side, but he made a great move to escape Deonte Jones.
And there was nobody open. They had a lot of pressure. And what's happening, Keith, is on third downs, Charles Woodson is going with David Buster. There's Gold, the linebacker, number 20, coming unabated. And Joe just making a nice move to get outside and get rid of it.
Yeah, it's Gold in as a blitzer instead of Deonte Jones. Those two, Gold and Jones, are the fastest of the linebackers in foot speed and their ability to get to a man. And here's the punt by Bartholomew, his 4th of the day. It's another good one. Woodson back inside the 30. Trying to get a little help on that side. There were 2 people over there, but he couldn't effectively get to them and get behind them. And so a 51-yard punt and an 8-yard return. Friday, America's biggest road show will roll into College Station, Texas at 11 Eastern Time at 10 Central. And then at 2:30 Eastern Time, third-ranked and unbeaten Nebraska will meet Colorado in Boulder. And then it's Oklahoma State and all kinds of things going on. Penn State, Michigan State, Penn State. We'll have to wait a little while to see whether or not, if the Nittany Lions can handle Wisconsin, will eventually get a piece of the Big Ten championship this year. First down from the 38-yard line for Michigan. 8:28 to go in a scoreless ball game in the first half. Reese's pass is completed to the tight end, Aaron Shea. And Shea, who has been battered some, makes a play, drops the shoulder, and does some punishing of his own.
Well, this is a play, the playbook, Michigan playbook we showed a little earlier. Brian faking to the running back, going one way and rolling out. Ohio State is ready for this play, Keith, but like I say, Shea made the reception, and nothing is going to be easy. Shea at the left of your screen. Right there. I mean, Moore, Damon Moore, 13. They're looking for it.
Last time they met, Moore decked him with a wicked shot to the head. This time, Shea won. This is Chris Howard getting what appears to be a first down before Winfield comes up and nails him. I figure I've got Winfield, Michigan with 24 plays, and Winfield has had 7 tackles now and broken up 5 passes. That's not bad.
Like you say, he's 5'9", 180 pounds, and his primary job is to cover the speed guys on the outside.
He was crafted from an old anvil.
Yes.
Tied together with hamstrings. 7:59 to go. First down, Michigan. We see a little play action. Got a lot of time out of it. Passes away, and it's incomplete. He was looking downfield for Truman, and Truman had broken it off, and it was overthrown. Here's Swanee.
Well, Keith, I just kind of wanted to give you my take on Antoine Whitfield as a cornerback now. He's small. He's not going to challenge a lot of the receivers at the line of scrimmage. What he tends to do, let them come off, watch the play develop, and then break on the ball, break on the receiver, inflicting the hit. But he also watches the backfield so he can come up and make the run stop. You know, you compare him to Woodson. Woodson's bigger. He's got great speed. He challenged the receivers more at the line of scrimmage, Keith.
Winfield right now has got the bigger numbers. This is Anthony Thomas, and he's caught behind the line of scrimmage. Number 68, Winfield Garnett, the big tackle, made that penetration and got a hand on him.
Well, if you're an offensive person, you're not wild about this graphic. Only 79 yards each team, and we're midway through the second quarter. It's been a defensive game up to this point.
You've got Charles Woodson in the ball game now, along with Kevin Bryant. That's 2 and 22. Shaw and Street stay in, so you effectively have 4 wide receivers now on the field out of the shotgun formation. Good blocking up front, giving Greasy time to throw down to Woodson. Woodson on the run, and tripped from behind. A touchdown saving tackle by Antoine Winfield.
Going to go down and come to the center of the field. Key here is the protection. He has enough time to throw. He moves around a little bit. Now Winfield's the bottom of your screen. If he doesn't make this tackle, Woodson's in the end zone.
Yep. Well, that's 8 tackles. First down, Michigan at the Ohio State 16-yard line. Run it with Chris Floyd. Inside the 5. Down to the 1. Damon Moore finally wrestled big Chris Floyd down. He's 231 pounds, and he's a load.
This is the play that sets it up. Chris Floyd, Keith, well, you can just see when he gets through the line, he's a fullback that blocks the line, says, no safety is going to take me down short of where I want to get. He just holding on for some friends.
First and goal. Ball to Thomas. Touchdown.
made that drive.
Craig Baker for the extra point. And it's good. And so 6:22 to play in the first half. Michigan gets the lead 7-0.
I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back. I want my baby back, Chili's baby back rib. I want my baby back, Chili's baby back rib.
Barbecue sauce.
I want my baby back, Chili's baby back rib. I want my baby Chili's baby back rib.
Barbecue sauce.
I got my baby back rib.
Chili's grills like no place else. Can we use a rigid ladder-type frame to reach new heights in performance? Can the cab-forward concept create more room, even in the trunk? When it comes to what you'll expect down the road, do we have things pretty well covered? These are the questions. This is the answer. Dodge Stratus. Starting under 14.4, 18.4 impressively equipped.
The time has come. Your journey is here. You're on to big things and a whole new frontier. You've packed all your bags in every size. You're dreaming big dreams and saying goodbyes. So whether you hail from city or town or village or hamlet, from miles around, you're on to big things and it's your turn to try. Life is a journey, so set your sights high.
Promotional consideration provided by National Car Rental, the official car rental company of ABC Sports.
Michigan, the scoring drive, 62 yards, 7 plays. The big play was the pass to Woodson down the middle, and followed by a big run by Anthony Thomas scoring, but it was the big fullback, Chris Floyd, that got it close. This ball is taken by Kenyon Rambo, a wide receiver, a freshman, dancing up the sideline to about the 26-yard line.
Charles Woodson's been igniting this offense for the last 3 weeks. Here, 3 weeks ago, a reverse against Minnesota gets him in the end zone and gets the Wolverines started. 2 weeks ago against Penn State, a pass down the middle of the field gets him in the end zone. And last week against Wisconsin, a play pass back to Brian Greasy, who could have gotten in. And here today, the square end across the middle sets up the first touchdown for Michigan. He's excited.
Wolverines leading 7-0. Ohio State with the ball. First down at the 26-yard line. Joe Germain, the quarterback for the Buckeyes. Deep man is Wiley. Boston is still quiet. This is Wiley. Not much. Number 91, Josh Williams, got him first. Fizel was there to help. And here's John Saunders.
Keith, the battle for the beer barrel continues. Tennessee and Kentucky. This time it's Peyton Manning. Dumps this one off to Marcus Nash, who stays inbounds down the sideline. 59 yards for the touchdown. 27th touchdown pass for Manning this season. Keith, back to you.
Well, John, thanks. Second down, 9. Jermaine hit behind the line of scrimmage by Joaquin Fizel, number 90.
Here's Fizel right here. It's going to be a slow fake, and he's going to get in there. Anytime you delay anything in the backfield against Michigan, nobody blocks him. He pulls, Fizel reads it nicely, and it's a big sack. I tell you, when you fool around in the secondary against this Michigan defensive line the way they're rushing, you're taking a big chance.
It is 3rd and 20 after Fizel's sack. Ball at the 17. Woodson and Boston at the bottom of the picture. They go the other way with it. And Matt Keller, the fullback, will get it out to about the 23-yard line, and the Buckeyes will have to punt. And it's Fizel who makes the big play in that defensive series. once again, Michigan should come out of this with very good field position. So, as we've noted already, Bartholomew is special.
In a field position game, a good punter like Bartholomew is priceless.
Snap is low, but he gets it out all right. Oh, my goodness, look at this. He runs Woodson all the way back to the 22-yard line. Woodson's got one block and another block. One more, and he's gone. Touchdown, no flag. Greg Baker for the point. Blocked it. Katzenmoyer has it. Rumbling down the sideline. Sweat finally takes him down. Andy Katzenmoyer almost scored
2 points.
2 points after blocking the extra point try.
There's a look at the punt return. You know, Keith, Woodson has not returned a punt for more than 15 or 20 yards all season long. In fact, Shaw had done a better job of it, but this time he breaks some tackles. The only guy that can break tackles for Winfield gets blocked on the punt return, and the speed of Woodson's going to carry him through this one.
Leandre Brown was the number 18 man who made that last block that freed him. And it's 13-0 as they finally track down Katzenmoyer. Andy his tank got a little empty down around the 20-yard line, and they finally caught him.
And the reason that was a big play is because in college football, if you block an extra point try, the defense can run it back and score 2 points if they get to the end zone. That's what Andy was going for.
He almost got there. But it's Woodson who has electrified this massive crowd to put Michigan out to a 13-0 lead at 3:43 to play in the first half.
Almost an afterthought, but Keith, that low extra point kick by Baker, we were talking to Lloyd Carr yesterday, and he was kind of in between which kicker that he wanted to use, and that may be a big extra point block for Ohio State if they can get back going here.
Well, Feely did place kicking, Jay Feely, last week up at Wisconsin.
Yeah, after he had a kick blocked by Baker.
Here's Feely kicking it off. Ball is fielded at the 10-yard line by Michael Wiley. He's the tailback. And he brings it up to about the 25-yard line. Here's Swanee.
Well, Keith, if you are going to be considered the best player in the country, you have to make big plays in the most important ball game that your team is playing in. Here at Michigan in the past, there was a young man, played wide receiver, and returned punts, Desmond Howard. In the big plays, in the big ball games, he made the big play. This afternoon, Charles Woodson is making a definitive statement about whether or not he should be selected as the best player in college football in America. Keith?
There's Charles on the sideline, Keith. He's trying to get some wind, get some strength back in those legs. He's not on defense right now.
Ball is at the 26-yard line. It is William Peterson who is out there, and he's a freshman from Uniontown, Pennsylvania.
He's lined up on Boston.
If they go to it. Nope. Come back this way. Throw it to Pearson. And it is incomplete. Off the hands of Pearson. Copenhaver was covering on the play at 3:29 to go in the first half. And here's John.
Well, Keith, a great story in the Big Ten. At halftime, we'll look out west.
Yeah, we'll take a look at the big games out there. They'll settle the other half of the Rose Bowl picture. USC, UCLA, Washington, Washington State.
Scores and highlights as well, including Kentucky and Tennessee. Right now, back to Keith.
That thing out in the West Coast is so complicated, it makes you want to eat your pencils while you try to figure it out. Second down and 10. Jermaine throws it over the head of Matt Keller. So that's pressure, pressure, pressure. James Hall was in his face.
Joe Jermaine is 1 of 6 completions for 6 yards. This is his 4th possession. The first 3 possessions he was in on, he was 3 and out.
Buckeyes need something dramatic to happen for them before they go to the clubhouse.
Bottom line, Keith, the 2-quarterback system, Stanley Jackson was doing a better job of moving around. When things weren't there, he took off running, and that's how Ohio State was moving when he was in there.
Charles Woodson is back now in the secondary against Boston. They have effectively shut him down so far. That ball is thrown in the middle. He does not catch the ball. It rolled loose, but it was never in possession. Ian Gold, that quick-footed linebacker, was the man covering on the play.
Well,
so again, they got to punt it.
Looking for Boston. Boston was tripped up. The ball was on him before he knew it, and then he dropped it.
Bartholomew is in to punt.
There is no question that the Michigan defense is looking for David Boston.
That's what a little pre-game conversation that's printed will get for you. Special attention. Russell Shaw is the deep man, not Woodson. He's taking a blow on the sideline.
10 seconds.
They want a little more time put back on the clock. Slippery Rock is out to a lead, as you can see, in one of their annuals. North Alabama. Boy, I'm telling you, that Boggy Wallace does something down there at that school. He is. Oh, wow. We're waiting to put the 3:10 on the clock. Now we're ready to go. Bartholomew's in to punt, and Russell Shaw is waiting for it for Michigan. Unless Bartholomew hits another one of those 50-yard-plus howitzers, they should get pretty good field position. He's got 3 kicks today over 50 yards.
And the last one was run back for a touchdown.
Yes, 55 punt, 78-yard return. This one's a little lower. It's another good kick, but Shaw might have a little room here. He gets a couple of blocks. They didn't get it. And he's taken down at the 34-yard line, where it's first down, Michigan. Tonight on ABC, look at Fergie in a whole new way, an hour of adventures with the Duchess here in America, then a special edition of Primetime Live and a fabulous brand new episode of The Practice, all tonight on ABC.
Did you pick that background music for that? Kind of like that.
No.
Huh?
No, I spend an awful lot of my time wandering around, wondering whatever happened to music. Bring up a little Willie.
I know what you mean.
This is Anthony Thomas carrying the ball, and he hits it out to about the 35-yard line. There was a goodly sprinkling of snow during the course of the night. When I looked out the window at dawn this morning, it was quite white. But it's mostly gone by now, and actually not an unpleasant afternoon.
No, it's for the players. It's a great football day, Keith, and the fans are quite comfortable. No wetness, no dampness.
Ty Streets remains quiet today, as does Shaw. Single back, Reese dropping, pressure coming, setting up something. Got a block for Thomas, and Anthony Thomas got his block, got the ball, and took it big. He's across on the Ohio State side of the field.
Michigan, a big screening team, and Brian does a nice job of baiting the defensive linebackers in to think that they're going to get something on him and then dumping it off. And the only reason that play worked because Winfield was downfield, covered somebody, Keith. He eventually will make the play.
Yeah, he ran all the way back
Watch
up
this.
and made the tackle.
Rudzinski there. Nice throw in stride. Now, at the top left of the screen, there was Winfield down covered.
And timeout spent here by Michigan. I think they had 12 people on the field for one thing. 2:19 to play, and they were running out of time on the play clock.
See how America's changed the Duchess. An extraordinary look at the real Sarah in action.
Why did I agree to do this?
Adventures with the Duchess, ABC tonight.
Undefeated Nebraska puts their national title hopes on the line. They play Colorado in a key Big 12 showdown Friday.
What's better than Tim on Tuesday? More Tim on Sunday.
Does this look like a little weight to you?
It's Tim Allen, the Santa Claus. ABC Sunday at 7, 6 Central.
You want to see where the real action is in a college football game? Well, look right here. The domain of the mighty coach. Oh, he's all over my God. I want to see a popcorn trap on right. 50 yards of pacing room with a little left over to flail your arm. Hi, sir, you been doing much flailing? He doesn't do much flailing. 79, I need a head nod or something. You're just leaving me over here standing. Hey, let's hustle up there. Let's get that going. Let's get that going a little bit. That's what I want to see.
2 minutes and 19 seconds to go in the half. 13-0 Michigan, and it came bang, bang. All of a sudden, just before you could blink an eye, you get the big pass play, the good run by Floyd, and then you get the punt return for the touchdown the following series. This is Thomas again, Anthony Thomas, and he keeps going. And I think, well, let me wait and see here. He came out.
It's always a problem when the running back or the receiver is fighting for more yardage and somebody is holding on to him.
I think Michigan got
somebody will knock the ball out.
Looked like a blue shirt went after it. And it is Michigan ball.
Well, let's watch Anton Winfield right here. He's either going to strip it or Barrio's going to get it. I think it's Winfield.
Yep. He's done everything else. He might as well.
He can play on my team any day.
Yes, sir. Give me 11 of them, and I'll take you on in the parking lot.
I'll take him on one side and Woodson on the other, and I'd go play you.
Wow. Ball is at the 42-yard line. 2nd down and 3. And it is Floyd. Nothing. He's behind the line of scrimmage. Kevin Johnson, number 52, made the penetration for Ohio State. The Goodyear blimp, one of America's more enduring corporate images, floating overhead, providing aerial views today. Goodyear blimps have been appearing at major events of all kinds since 1925. 3rd down. Greasy looking around. Now he's going to go. He bounced around for a while, but eventually Winfield Garnett came in and got him.
He was looking for Charles Woodson, and there was about 3 guys around Charles.
High Streets was over here on the sidelines, relatively quiet. He had man, but
if you had that helmet on and you were back there, who would you look for?
Well, of course.
First.
By the time you get Winfield Garnett blurring your vision, you don't have a lot of others. 57 seconds to play in the half. And it'll be 4th down for Michigan. Michigan with 2 timeouts remaining. Ohio State with 1. In comes Jason Vincent to punt. And he's been busy.
And I think this is a good, Michigan has had some problems with their snapping. As I look at Boston, he's been dangerous as a returner, and Michigan has had some problems with their punt team throughout the season. So John Cooper says, let's have him punt it.
Poultry does the snapping. Good one. Kicks away. Good kick. Boston takes it at the 5. Trying to get help around the corner and can't. Number 57 got a piece of him and slowed him down. And then they track him down at the 10, and there's a penalty flag thrown at the 10-yard line. 47-yard punt with a 6-yard return and 42 seconds to play in the half. Copenhaver is hobbling a bit after that play. Looks like it's his left leg. Illegal use of hands by Ohio State. Not too many things have gone terribly well for them here in the first half.
Ohio State possessions, they've punted every time except the one time that they fumbled. The first 3 possessions were Stanley Jackson. The last 4, Joe Germain. Neither quarterback getting a lot done.
And Michigan leading 13-0. John Cooper 171 in his 10 years against these Michigan Wolverines.
That's true, Keith, but he's 35-4 over his last 39 games. And although he's not done well against Michigan, he has been first or second in the Big Ten the last 5 years and won a Rose Bowl last year.
And a total rebuild team this year.
No question.
All right, Wisniewski comes in, a tight end, and that sends D. Miller out. So that means a double tight end alignment perhaps for Ohio State as they come out with 42 seconds.
Offensively here, Keith, I think what you try to do is you've got a lot of explosive players. The first thing you don't want to do is turn it over. Don't make any silly mistakes to get Michigan to points.
Miller went to the sideline, turned around, and comes right back.
Yeah. Secondly, if you can get the ball to one of your big play guys on something safe, like a quick hitch or a little swing pass or something easy, or hand it to one of your guys that can go all the way, that's what you're looking to do.
Keller is in the backfield. Michael Wiley is the tailback.
Wiley has great speed. Boston can
You don't move
make
the ball,
plays.
that's all I'm saying. From the flag. That's what I'm told. It's part of the flag.
I never heard that before.
I have no idea what the holdup is. Finally, they decide, well, let's play. And here we go from the 5-yard line, first down. Wiley out of the end zone. Finds some daylight. Michael Wiley runs it out of the trouble. Gets it all the way across the 20 and out to about the 24. James Whitley, the tackle for Michigan. It's first down, Ohio State. 35 seconds to go in the half.
So look at the pits. Walter, number 77, does a nice job.
Yeah, he got Glenn Steele turned inside.
Yeah, I think Steele was slanting in there anyway, Keith.
Just let him go. Took him, used his own momentum. Germain.
Little dash route, or dash for the quarterback, get outside the pocket.
Now he's across the line of scrimmage by 3 yards. Charles Woodson defending on Boston, but Joe was across the line of scrimmage when he threw the ball.
Ball was knocked up in the air and almost picked off.
There are multiple fouls on the play, both against the offense. Ineligible receiver, downfield, illegal forward pass.
Illegal forward pass, that's loss of down, right?
Yeah, I don't think it matters. There's only 18 seconds left in the half, and they're going to be backed up. So John Cooper may just, well, they may try one more time, try to get it to Wiley or Boston, and let's see if they can break it, split something down the middle. It's got to be frustrating for offensively for this team. They're averaging 33 points a game coming in, and they're going to be shut out here in the first half, it looks like.
A year ago, it was Michigan shut out in the first half, if you recall. 9-0 Ohio State
Illegal
at
forward
halftime.
pass against the offense is declined. Ineligible receiver, downfield on the offense is accepted. 5 yards, previous spot, replay, first down.
Good look at Glenn Steele. He's been playing great football, Keith, as you know.
He's been up against some tough customers, too. That fella McIntosh up at Wisconsin last week gave him a hard time.
Last year in this ball game, he was going up against Orlando Pace.
Yep.
And probably did as well against Orlando Pace as anybody did in college football.
Wisconsin is over at Penn State today. A meaningful ball game in the Big Ten. It's first down and 15 now. I'm not sure why they accepted that particular penalty.
Pushing back.
Tougher. That's takedown on Matt Keller at about the 20-yard line. And that's going to run out the clock. So Michigan has no turnovers, only one penalty in the first half, 2 bang-bang plays, and they lead at halftime over the Ohio State Buckeyes by a score of 13-0. Now, here's John Saunders.
All right, Keith, thanks a lot. And Todd, you heard Keith talk about it, saying he was eating his pencils trying to figure out the Pac-10 race.
Well, we've got a couple good pens. We'll figure it all out for you. Stick around.
Don't eat anything. We will be back with more after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Once a single library held the knowledge of the world. Centuries later, data was still controlled by an elite few. Then Oracle freed everyone to work with databases. Today, Oracle is putting the knowledge of the world online.
It will forever change our markets and our culture.
Where do you learn about companies whose future is as limitless as our hunger to know? Exactly. NASDAQ.com.
You just hold this and you know you're going to get a close shave.
Remington introduces the new shape in shaving.
The angle to the face, just right.
Dynamite body.
It looks like a sports car. It's easy to maneuver. It's a Remington.
These side grips are a stroke of genius.
Now I can see what I'm trimming.
My old shaver felt like a block of cheese.
The shape was so cool. I got one for my husband.
I can't believe I'm in love with an electric. But look at this shave.
My old shaver is history.
Remington's new dual microscreen, built to shave incredibly close.
And they guarantee it.
Soft, comfortable Wrangler jeans are perfect when your family's going out for dinner. No matter how far out you go. Wrangler, real comfortable jeans. Wrangler jeans, perfect when you're training your dog, or when your dog is training you. Wrangler, real comfortable jeans.
They give us heroes, they give us hope, they let us laugh and cry and fall in love. Movies touch us as few things can. Any technology that heightens the experience of watching movies at home makes life even more enjoyable.
DVD video from Philips Magnavox. Technology for the heart, the spirit, and the imagination.
You're watching ABC.
Introducing the BMW 323IS. Finally, a 6-cylinder luxury sports coupe that breaks the price barrier. Test drive the 323 Coupe or convertible at your BMW retailer today.
Is the Jerry Springer Show too hot for TV? Watch Inside Edition. Valvoline Halftime 97, brought to you by Valvoline, the #1 choice of America's top mechanics. People who know use Valvoline. From our New York studios, John Saunders and Todd Blackledge.
13-0, Michigan has the lead. Now, earlier this week, David Boston said that Ohio State would win by a couple of touchdowns. Charles Woodson answered back. Right now, Woodson's having the last word.
Well, clearly, the difference in the ballgame is Charles Woodson. He's having an outstanding first half. Neither team has been effective on third down. Both teams 2 for 8 in third down conversions, but the biggest offensive play in the game so far was 3rd and 12 for Michigan. Charles Woodson in the ballgame as a wide receiver, and Brian Greasy going right to him. And you can see what Woodson can do after he catches the football. He's just an effective football player on offense and defense. And then he turns around on the punt return and makes, again, the second biggest play of the ball game. Watch him set up his blockers here. Charles Woodson, an electrifying football player, an electrifying first half for the defensive back / punt returner / wide receiver out of Fremont, Ohio. Clearly the difference in the ballgame in the first half. And I'll tell you what, he didn't strike the pose at the end of that play like Desmond Howard a couple years ago, but he is having a huge game. If he keeps it up, he is right in the thick of the race for the Heisman Trophy. Peyton Manning's playing a big game today against Kentucky, but not nearly as many people are watching that game as the number of people that are watching this one, watching Charles Woodson.
Woodson with 115 all-purpose yards. who would you pick for the Heisman?
Well, I'm going to reserve my vote until the very end of the season, but I will say this. Right now, my feeling is number 2 in the blue jersey deserves the award.
He certainly looks like it today. Now, speaking of Peyton Manning, of course, the leading candidate for the Heisman Trophy. Today, he had a big matchup with Kentucky, arriving for the game there. And why is it big? Because Tim Couch is also a tremendous quarterback. Tim Couch, this time goes to Derek Homer, 37 yards, and Kentucky winds up with a touchdown and a 7-0 lead. Tim Couch has been having a terrific season. That's number 36 touchdown pass of the season. But then Tim Couch is picked off by Tennessee's Terry Fair, and this would help the Volunteers set one up. Now, Couch was furious after this. He did not feel that this was an interception. It was, though. Peyton Manning goes to work, 17 yards. He goes to Andy McCullough. And Tennessee opens a 17-7 lead. And right now, Tennessee on top, as we mentioned, 17-7 is the score there. But again, a matchup of some great quarterbacks.
Yeah, both quarterbacks outstanding in this ball game. Take a look at their numbers through the first half. Peyton Manning also threw a touchdown pass to Marcus Nash. Peyton Manning may well win the Heisman Trophy. He's a great quarterback, will be a great NFL quarterback. But I think in a year or two, people will say Tim Couch was even a better quarterback because Couch is a better athlete than Peyton Manning is.
And you like the way he has a lot more scrambling ability as well.
Yeah, he's just an active guy. He's a great basketball player. He's a great athlete, and I think his ability to move in the pocket kind of separates him from other guys. All
right, Kansas State having a terrific year this year and looking to win 10 games for the first time since 1910. And right now, K-State leading Iowa State 14-3. There's about 7:30 left in the second quarter there. Duke against North Carolina. David Green hooking up with Corey Thomas. Just covers 2 yards, but it puts Duke out in front of North Carolina. Surprise early. And then Carolina back to punt, and Kevin Lewis returns this one for another Duke touchdown. Brian Prinzel gets it 14-0, but Chris Keldorf would go to work, already with a touchdown pass. This time to Jason Peace in the end zone, and Carolina fights all the way back.
As good as Carolina's defense has been the last couple of years, their Achilles heel has been their special teams. Another punt block today. Duke keeping it very close right now with the heels.
Big matchup for the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. They have to win this game if they hope to go to a bowl, and right now it's scoreless against West Virginia. Purdue against Indiana, and Edwin Watson takes off 14 yards of the touchdown run. The point after is good. 7-0. Purdue jumps in front of Indiana. Billy Dicken with a touchdown run as well as 14-0. East Carolina against NC State. They rank 111th in the nation in rushing, East Carolina, but they have a 3-0 lead. Army against Boston College. Matt Hasselbeck having a pretty good year as a quarterback at Boston College.
Yeah, good student, good player. Is Boston College trying to get another win for Tom O'Brien in his first year as head coach at Boston College?
The game between Harvard and Yale, 114th meeting. Right now, Harvard leads this one 14-0. They will clinch the Ivy League title if they get a victory in this one. Stick around. There's still more to come. We will try and untangle the way things look out in the Pac-10. Charles Woodson with a big reception here, helping Michigan to a 13-0 lead over the Buckeyes. Back with a Pac-10 picture in a moment.
You can keep your car looking clean, but you got to keep your engine clean too. Newly formulated Valvoline DuraBlend motor oil is a synthetic blend that suspends the dirt, unburned fuel, and water that cause harmful deposits and reduces oil burn-off. DuraBlend protects vital engine parts, so your engine runs cleaner and better longer. It outperforms all leading conventional motor oils because a car can look great, but it's what's inside that counts. Valvoline DuraBlend.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here to pay last respects to the internet as we know it.
You can keep your car looking clean, but you got to keep your engine clean too. Newly formulated Valvoline DuraBlend motor oil is a synthetic blend that suspends the dirt, unburned fuel, and water that cause harmful deposits and reduces oil burn-off. DuraBlend protects vital engine parts, so your engine runs cleaner and better longer. It outperforms all leading conventional motor oils because a car can look great, but it's what's inside that counts. Valvoline DuraBlend.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here to pay last respects to the internet as we know it. Lucent brings new life to net, less congestion, phone calls and faxes over net, and CD quality sound. Lucent Technologies. We make the things that make communications work.
Welcome back to Valvoline Halftime 97. John Saunders and Todd Blackledge. A great second half ahead, but also the second half of our doubleheader at 3:30 Eastern Time. Now take a look at the top three games. They all may have Rose Bowl implications, so check local listings for the game available in your area and on pay-per-view. Now, it is wild. Let's take a look at the way things line up in the Big Ten and see who's going to the Rose Bowl. Michigan will get there if they win today, or if they're in a three-way tie with Ohio State and Penn State, and neither is ranked 1 and 2. Stay with me on this one. Ohio State, if they win today and have a two-way tie with Michigan, they would go. If they're in a three-way tie and they're ranked 1 or 2, they could still go to the Rose Bowl. And Penn State would go if they were in a three-way tie with Michigan and Ohio State and ranked number 1 or number 2 ahead of Ohio State. So that matchup between Penn State and Wisconsin still might have something to say about the Rose Bowl today.
Well, it's definitely going to have a part. I mean, I think it's unlikely Penn State gets to the Rose Bowl, but they're still very much alive for an Alliance Bowl if they win out. For Wisconsin, they're looking at maybe the Alamo or the Outback Bowl. I think the big question in that ballgame today is the health or the status of Ron Dane's ankle. Wisconsin has a huge edge in size up front in their ability to run the football, and Penn State has shown no ability to stop the run. They're 7th in the Big Ten. They've allowed 6 rushers to go over 100 already. If Dane is healthy, Wisconsin has enough, I think, to keep this one close and maybe even pull an upset like they did a couple years ago.
All right, so Penn State's hopes for the Rose Bowl could end today. Now let's talk about the Pac-10. It's just as wild out there. Washington State would go if they win today, and they could win anything in a three-way tie with UCLA and Arizona State. They would go, or a two-way tie with UCLA. Now UCLA will go if they win today and Washington State comes up with a loss. For Arizona State to go to the Rose Bowl, they need USC to beat UCLA, and the Sun Devils must beat Arizona next week. For more on the Pac-10 picture, we have 2 reports. Let's begin with Brad Nessler in Los Angeles.
John, there'll be 92,000 in the Coliseum for this matchup between the Trojans and the Bruins of UCLA, one of the hottest teams in the country right now. 8 straight wins, 3rd in the nation in scoring. They've got the top scorer, too. And I think, Gary, you know, you look at Ricky Williams down at Texas, with all due respect to what he's done for the Longhorns. Skip Hicks is playing better than any tailback in the nation.
Well, I think you're right. And I know for sure you're right about the fact that nobody talks about this guy, and he is a great football player. He has a beautiful blend of speed and power. And in a conference that's known for quarterbacking and throwing the ball around, UCLA is riding Skip Hicks for possible Rose Bowl berth. If USC doesn't top him, I know they don't have much of a chance.
Well, he scored 144 points already this season. I hope nobody looks back at that Washington State game that he wasn't in the final play or the fumble against Tennessee as his season, because he's been a major part of their 8-game winning streak. Are they going to get to the Rose Bowl? Gang up in Seattle's got something to say about that. Let's go up to Terry Gannett.
When Washington State charges out of this tunnel to take on the Washington Huskies, they may have a chance to do what no Washington State team has done since 1931. Earn a trip to the Rose Bowl. The last time that happened, Joan Crawford was #1 at the box office, and The Shadow was just getting started on the radio. You remember those days?
Yeah, I don't remember those days.
I know you've been excited about this one all week.
I really have been, Terry. You've got Washington, Washington State, the Apple Cup, the Rose Bowl, 2 of the best young quarterbacks in the entire country. Brock Heward, 19 touchdown passes. Brian Lee passed 31, the number 3 and 4 ranked quarterbacks in the country. So you know they're going to be putting the ball in the air all day long. I do think Washington's a little bit handcuffed because Rashawn Sheedy, their star running back, still not back with a bad knee. So Maurice Shaw comes in, and I think that's going to change their game plan just a bit.
Always a huge rivalry in this state. Today, national implications in Seattle, maybe a bit of history being made as well. Let's take it back now to John Saunders in New York.
We know all about UCLA's offense, but their defense has been impressive as well.
Well, they've come up big in this winning streak. In the area of big plays, they're not ranked real high statistically, but they forced 37 turnovers and 34 quarterback sacks. It's been a big part of their success. Speaking of defense, the question, which one will show up for the Washington Huskies today? It was once considered a strength of this team. They've given up 83 points in the last 2 weeks. Washington State very explosive on offense. Keep an eye on running back Michael Black. Everybody talks about Ryan Leaf throwing the ball. Black averages right around 100 yards a game. He's a big weapon.
All right, no one in the Pac-10 controls their own destiny. That's hard to believe. But Michigan does control their own destiny, and one of the reasons because of Charles Woodson putting up a Heisman-like day. His punt return for a touchdown. Michigan with a 13-0 lead.
Presenting the Valvoline Big Play Rebate and Sweepstakes. Save $4 on a case of Valvoline motor oil, and you could win one of 6 Mark Martin signature Ford Thunderbirds. Here comes Mark now. He's up and right on the money. Valvoline, the #1 choice of top mechanics.
I will not accept anything less than a perfect quad twisting triple.
I will not accept anything less than my personal best.
I will not accept anything less than 80 miles per hour.
I will not accept anything less than 1 minute 17 seconds.
I will not accept any card but Visa.
At the 1998 Olympic Winter Games, only the best is accepted. Visa, worldwide partner of the Nagano Games. It's everywhere you want to be.
I got no claim.
Considering the cost of today's exotic multi-metallic engine parts, shouldn't you use an antifreeze coolant with a patented new formula designed to protect your entire engine? Zerex Antifreeze, extreme protection for today's engines.
Valvoline Halftime 97, brought to you by Valvoline, the #1 choice of America's top mechanics. People who know use Valvoline.
Monday, think you need vitamins but don't know which ones to take? This one is helping heart patients live longer. Don't miss Vitamins, the ABCs of life on World News Tonight.
Welcome back. Tennessee has the 24-14 lead on Kentucky. Peyton Manning to Marcus Nash, the most recent of his 3 touchdown passes, so he wants a stranglehold on that Heisman as well. West Virginia against Notre Dame. Amos Zaraway, an 11-yard touchdown run, and West Virginia leads the Irish 7-0. It's time now to introduce the Burger King Scholar Athlete of the Week Award. Each week, the Burger King Corporation and its National Franchise Association will donate $1 million to the general scholarship funds of recipient colleges and universities. This week's featured scholar athlete is Brian Greasy, the University of Michigan senior quarterback. Greasy, an environmental policy major, a big proponent of community service.
You don't realize the opportunity that you have playing college football and the opportunity that you have to influence other people's lives. And I've done a lot of work, and it's been good not only for the people that I talk to or the children that I visit at a hospital, but it's therapeutic for me as well.
Brian Greasy, the Burger King Scholar Athlete. Win tickets to the Rose Bowl. Get online with ABC Sports College Football and solve the word puzzles to enter. All in American online. Keyword ABC Sports. An ABC Sports presentation of college football will continue after this message and a word from our ABC station.
This is the Triton-powered Ford F-150, and this is a 102,000-pound earth mover. Now that's what we call taking the bulldozer by the horns. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough.
Hi, I'm expecting a fax.
Room 212 wants the ammunition to deal with her toughest clients.
Nothing. Hi, Davies, 212. I called earlier.
Right, fax. It hasn't come yet.
I need it for a meeting.
Excuse me, Miss Davies? Just came in.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone.
Business Services by Marriott. When you're comfortable, you could do anything.
Vacation travelers know that when it comes to renting a car, there's really only one place to go: National Car Rental. Especially if you're planning to go to the Walt Disney World 25th anniversary celebration. Because as the official car rental company of Walt Disney World, National gets you in your car and on the road fast. So what are you waiting for? Let's go to the Walt Disney World 25th anniversary with National Car Rental. But hurry, the celebration ends January 31st.
She's slick, she's sassy, she's brassy, and she's... The season premiere of Grace. Dan Aykroyd's real-life wife, Donna Dixon, has a surprise. Pregnant. An all-new Soul Man. And all he ever wanted was a luxury box in the Silverdome. Now the dreams come true. Somebody pinch me. The season's most moving home improvement. To put the tool man at the controls. Tim, don't touch anything. Whoops. Followed by a special Spin City ABC Tuesday.
It is perhaps our most impressive safety advance ever. A Volvo that can save your soul. Introducing the all-wheel drive cross-country from Volvo.
The name is Bond. James Bond. The name is Bond.
James Bond. Bond. James Bond.
James Bond.
The name is Bond. James Bond.
There's only one true
Bond. James Bond.
And only one Heineken.
Even though Dodge Ram is the bright red gold standard of pickup trucks, we're always improving things. We've made our available Magnum V8s even more powerful. We've improved the already world-class interior. In all, we've made 130 improvements to the Ram lineup since introduction, including this one, our new flow-through ventilation system. New Ram Quad Cab. The rules have changed.
It is perhaps our most impressive safety advance ever. A Volvo that can save your soul. Introducing the all-wheel drive cross-country from Volvo.
Martine Greco and Jerry Taft, weeknights at 5 and 10.
Back for the second half of the Michigan-Ohio State game. Buckeyes stifled in the first half. Michigan leading 13-0 at the break. Michigan undefeated, ranked first in one poll, second in another. And here's some highlights from the first half.
Charles Woodson going against David Boston. The first half goes to Charles Woodson on a square end, sets up the Michigan first score, and then this punt return. Breaks a tackle there and a couple more, and just outruns the rest of them. So Charles Woodson has been involved in both touchdowns that Michigan has scored today. As you look at the statistics to the first half, only the numbers anywhere. The passing yards for Michigan, 118, and return yards, that's including that 78-yard punt return for a touchdown. Ohio State far below their offensive averages.
Antoine Winfield, the cornerback on the other team, had an impressive first half. Oh, did he ever. He's credited with 9 tackles. That does not include the passes broken up and all manner of other things that he contributed to.
He has been everywhere.
Including stripping the ball one time into a fumble.
Stanley Jackson looks like he's going to be starting. He is the emotional leader, the captain of this team. Saying a few words there to David Boston.
Jay Feely kicks it off for Michigan, and the Buckeyes now ready to go in the second half, down by 13 points. This is Rambo, the freshman speedster wide receiver, working his way back to about the 28-yard line before James Whitley brings him down. Now Lynch one.
Well, King, football is always a game of adjustments, and both teams are going to attempt to make some adjustments here in the second half. But let's go back to the first half and watch number 42. That's Kevin Griffin. He's on special teams. He comes down, makes a great tackle. But the next time, they double him up. They make an adjustment. What's the difference? The difference is Charles Woodson goes for a touchdown because he can't get there in time. Both teams looking to make the fine adjustments in the second half to get their offensive units, Keith, more productive.
All right, Jackson settles in at quarterback on first down at the 28-yard line. You have a single back, and Jackson runs a quarterback draw. So they start with a quarterback draw, and it's good for about 6 yards as Deonte Jones makes the tackle. As I said, Michigan is undefeated, ranked #1 in the AP. The coaches have them #2. Ohio State #4. There's big bucks bowls waiting for both these teams. And Gary Dorn, the president of the Tournament of Roses, is here with a bundle of roses. In case Michigan wins the ball game, the Wolverines would lock up the ticket to Pasadena. Second down and 3. And this is Pearson being caught behind the line of scrimmage by Andre Weathers, who plays the boundary corner position for Michigan, and he gets nothing out of the play.
Rob Sweat coming up doing a nice job. It's interesting. John Cooper deciding to go back to Stanley Jackson. I think that's a good move, Keith. Stanley Jackson got some things going in the first 3 possessions. They at least crossed midfield every time that Stanley was in the game.
It is 3rd and a long 3 now for the Buckeyes. Blitzing. Gets it away. Incomplete. It was intended for the tight end Lumpkin. And Ohio State starts the second half pretty much the same way they played the first half.
The tight ends, especially John Lumpkin, is not where Ohio State wants to throw the football. They want to throw it to their wide receivers or their backs. And that was a good defense by Michigan.
So in is Bartholomew. He will have his 7th punt now, with Charles Woodson dropping back to accept it for Michigan. And Charles giving him a little more room now that he's experienced the Boomers. And they fake it. And it goes up the middle with Rudzinski, the linebacker, a blocker there. And Rudzinski runs it up the pipe and picks up a first down for Ohio State.
It's a big call by John Cooper, and a momentum thing, something to get you going.
So they snap it crooked and short, and Rudzinski runs for a big play for the Buckeyes.
Well, here's Rudzinski. Go ahead and run it. Right up the middle. That's a nice call by John Cooper. And you know, you do that, Keith, if you've got pretty good field position. That was pretty good field position, but if that didn't work, that would have given Michigan awfully good field position going the other way. But it worked, and it's a great call.
John's up against it. He's got to get something going.
Exactly.
20-yard pickup on the play. That's their longest run of the day. Hand the ball off to Pearson, and Pearson is caught and finally dragged down about the 40-yard line. Tommy Hendricks, 41, had a hold of him and held him until Marcus Ray got there to help. That's good for 6 yards. Should be 2nd and 4.
Something new, a hurry-up offense. I like this.
It was so hurry up, they were mixed up.
Yeah,
and so Stanley Jackson calls a timeout at 13:06 to go in the 3rd quarter. The Buckeyes trying to stir the pot.
Trailers for sale or rent, rooms to let 50 cents. Mama, man of means by no means, king of the road. 2 hours of pushing broom buys an 8 or 12 4-bedroom. Mama, man of means by no means, king of the road.
Hey, Max. Why just sit around when you could have fun in the new Ford CX-2?
Nowhere to run to, baby. Nowhere to hide. Everywhere I go, your face I see. Every step I take, you take with me. Nowhere to run to, baby. Nowhere to hide.
The new Ford CX-2. Grab life by the wheel.
Max? Nowhere to hide.
There are millions of reasons to fly today. Only one that matters to you. At Delta Airlines, it is our pleasure to get you to the place you want to be. Delta Airlines, on top of the world.
He had a great life until he discovered he died 2 years ago.
I want my life back.
Timothy Hutton, dead by midnight, ABC Sunday.
Ohio State owns the football. 2nd down and 5 at the Michigan 40-yard line. On 4th down, linebacker in to block on the punt. Took the snap short, ran up the middle for a 1st down to midfield, 15 yards, and got him moving. Jerry Rudzinski. And now here are the Buckeyes trying to go hurry up. That didn't work. They took a time, got organized, and now they take a long count trying to tease the Michigan defense. And now Jackson calls his play. And it's Pepe Pearson wiggling around over the right side and getting across the 35, inside the 35 for a 1st down. Deani Jones, the tackle.
Take a look at the pit. The offensive line doing a nice job. The fullback, 23, gets a nice block there. Matt Keller. Fullbacks in this game don't get a lot of credit, Keith. They both do a lot of the dirty work, the blocking, catch a few passes.
So from the 35 now for the Buckeyes. Jackson drops, throws it. He's got Miller. And Miller has a 1st down for Ohio State inside the 10 in front of Charles Woodson.
They showed the start of an option, and then Jackson steps back. Watches, he's going to go down the line. It's an option look. Holds the linebackers and then throws it over. That's a good call by Mike Jacobs, the offensive coordinator.
It's 1st and goal, Ohio State at the Michigan 9-yard line. Buckeyes trailing 13-0. Keller. And Matt will have a couple. Tommy Hendricks and Josh Williams. Williams had the big penetration, forcing him to change direction. Touchdown.
Teams have not been inside Michigan's 20-yard line that often, only 15 times.
Wisniewski, a tight end, brings the play in for Ohio State. Boston coming to the bottom of the picture. Jackson throws in the middle. There by Woodson.
There's a look from the left side. Stanley Jackson did not see this the whole way. He was looking to the outside, then came back. You can't go that straight up field down there. D. Miller was going too far straight up the field, and Woodson cut underneath him.
And got his 7th interception of the year to lead the Big Ten Conference from the 20-yard line, Chris Floyd. And knocked down just short of the 20, Andy Katzenmoyer. It's remarkable how well he goes laterally. You just can hardly run around the man.
Katzenmoyer.
Yes. You've got to put a solid block on him or he'll track you down.
Most teams try to run right at him. Keith, he's 260, but you'd say, well, you don't want to run at somebody that big, but his quickness and going around in. The disappointment. Ohio State had some good going, and then the disappointment of taking it away.
That's Anthony Thomas out of Winfield, Louisiana, carrying, and Rudzinski steps up here to get a tackle. Woodson now has 17 interceptions in his career. And in case it's part of your conversation, chances are yes, he'll be playing on Sunday next year.
Well, you know that Lloyd Carr hopes not, but I think, well, I don't know. I'm not going to say. Certainly has had a great career at Michigan.
Certainly has. 3rd down and 10.
Here they come.
It's away, and it's incomplete. High Streets is begging for a little help from one of the men wearing the striped shirts, saying he was being mugged, but he doesn't get any sympathy.
I think he was throwing that to the tight end who was covered, just threw it away, yeah.
But Streets was being mugged.
Yeah. Ohio State's going to get great field position back after this punt, Keith.
4th down. And the kick is away by Benson. It's a high one, but it's not too long, and Boston drifts under it with fair catch ball at his own 44, 45-yard line, and there they will start. So that's very good field position after a 36-yard punt by Jason Benson.
We're back at Erickson Stadium, where we're down to the final seconds of the game, and it's still tied. The kick's high. And
Ericsson mobile phones. Catch the excitement.
This year, make sure your favorite gift giver has the cordless inflator. It has all the power he needs to pump up the holiday spirit. The cordless inflator, powered by VersaPack, built by Black & Decker.
Well, if I had money, I'd tell you what I'd do. I'd go downtown, buy a Ford truck or two. I'm crazy about a Ford truck. Lord, I'm crazy about a Ford truck. I'm gonna buy me a Ford truck and cruise it up and down the road. I'm gonna buy me a Ford truck and cruise it up and down the road.
For the last 50 years, there's only been one truck built Ford tough.
The aluminum in your car radiator is as thin as this sheet, and it's the only thing between you and a breakdown. But Prestone antifreeze bonds with aluminum, forming a zone of protection against corrosion and temperature extremes. Protect your car in the Prestone zone.
Well, this is the kind of football game you hope for in college football, where it means everything in terms of the Big Ten and the Rose Bowl. And Charles Woodson is making a very big statement. Look at his performance so far in the ball game. He has had a great impact. He has had 1 interception, 127 all-purpose yards, 3 punts, returns 90 yards total, 1 a touchdown, and 1 big reception for 37 yards that set up another touchdown. Now, if this is not the kind of player that should be considered to be the best in the country, heck, I don't know who should be, Keith.
Well, there's Antoine Winfield. All he needs to do is get over on the other side a little bit. Back goes Jackson. And he's got a problem. Still struggling, now throws it in. Intercepted. He threw it right to Andre Weathers, and Weathers will score a touchdown. Oh, that could be a will breaker.
Two passes that Stanley Jackson has thrown were the first 2 passes he had intercepted this year. In fact, he had thrown 150 coming into the game without an interception.
Baker's in for the point. Greg better get this one in the air, and he'll become a spectator again. That one's up and through. It's Feely. Feely, all right. Feely, 49, getting that kick. Okay. So Craig Baker had 1 blocked, and that got him on the bench last week, and Feely comes right on this week and does the same thing. But here's the interception, the struggle, the eternal effort, trying to do more than you can, and he was in the grasp of Sam Sword, tried to deliver the ball, simply couldn't do it, and it went right into the stomach of Andre Weathers, who swallowed it.
Sometimes quarterbacks try to do too much.
Yep.
They don't want to ever give up on the play. Instead of just taking a sack and falling down, they want to keep it alive. And he's probably done that, Keith, several times in his career. He's fought, he stayed up on his feet, broken loose, and made big plays. He's the captain of this team. He knew coming out he was going to get a chance to bring this team back. He had him down inside the 10-yard line. And instead of getting some points on the board for his team, threw the interception to Woodson. And then the cardinal sin of throwing an interception going the other way, give the other team 7 points.
Michigan has scored on a 1-yard run, a 78-yard punt return, and a 44-yard interception return, and lead 20-0. The kickoff to Rambo at the 1. For the 16, and that'll do it. DeAndre Brown belted him, and here's John Saunders.
Keith, in this Burger King update, equal time for another Heisman Trophy candidate, Peyton Manning against Kentucky today. This one covering 66 yards to Marcus Nash, his 3rd touchdown pass of the day. Manning 14 of 24, 256 yards and 3 touchdowns in the first half of this game as Tennessee is holding off Kentucky 24-21. Keith, back to you.
That's a pretty good scuffle, though. It's been a while since Kentucky's given Tennessee that much trouble. Coach got a new contract too, didn't he?
Yes, he did, and he should have.
First down from the 16-yard line with Joe Germain now in at quarterback. He had to come because Stanley obviously was terribly upset after that last play. Ball is across the 20 and out near the 21 for Matt Keller. 20-0 with 10 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter.
And not only is Ohio State down 20 points with a whole second half to play, but emotionally and mentally they are down, Keith. The last 2 possessions, the first one out, moving the ball down and not getting the points, and then the second possession, throwing the interception, going the other way. They've got to overcome 20 points and their emotions.
Yes, sir. It's a will breaker.
Yeah.
It's just brutal. To the emotional level. Boston's out here on Weathers, but they run it. Michigan defense is on fire now as Rob Renas penetrates and gets the sack. Well, the loss on the play. Actually, not a sack. Renas just blew everybody out of the middle to make that play.
I think this is Renas here. Watch as he's going to come in. The defensive line, Renas just splits him, runs through the fullback. He fought through 3 different offensive players to make the tackle. He's a wrestler. A high school wrestling champion out of the state of Michigan.
It is 3rd and 11 for Ohio State, and they are, to be sure, beleaguered right now. Germain's pass, incomplete. Dee Miller and Germain were not on the same page.
Well, let me tell you, I'm looking downfield. There is nobody open.
And so the Buckeyes have to punt. It's Woodson waiting for Bartholomew's kick. Can't find the crack, but Michigan gets the ball back with very good field position at their own 48-yard line. Kevin Griffin, another tackle.
At Ford Motor Company, we're experimenting with a backing up warning system, which sounds a signal to help you avoid hitting what you can't even see. Sometimes you just have to go backwards to go forward. Ford, quality is job one.
Stampede tomorrow night, 2 a.m.
The Panasonic Razor. Shave wet or shave dry. Your choice. Your shave. Rinse clean. Work hard, play hard, shave your way. Panasonic.
I got no claim.
Considering the cost of today's exotic multi-metallic engine parts, shouldn't you use an antifreeze coolant with a patented new formula designed to protect your entire engine? Zerex Antifreeze. Extreme protection for today's engines.
ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? By Burger King, where you can get your burger's worth. State Farm Insurance, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And Visa, it's everywhere you want to be. Pictures coming from the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company's blimp, Spirit of Akron. Find out more about the Goodyear blimps on the internet at www.goodyear.com. First down, 48-yard line. And Woodson is at the top of the picture. Greasy lets it go for Ty Streets. And it's a little long. He went down the near side with Ty Streets, who hasn't seen the ball much today. And Antoine Winfield was with him, but Streets has a huge height advantage at 6'4" over Winfield's 5'9".
And the decoy was on the other side of the field. Charles Woodson to the wide side. Brian threw it to the short side.
And it's second down and 10.
First half numbers.
Anthony Thomas in motion. Blitz coming, throw it to Thomas coming down the middle. He needs to break a tackle and he couldn't do it. He pops out of that tackle at Damon Moore and he might still be running.
That was a nice play by Damon Moore. You're right.
It was.
Yes. It was one of those wide receiver screens. They call it the jailbreak. Watch 13 Moore. He's going to fight his way through some of the offensive players and defensive backs to get in there and make that stop.
It is third and a long yard now for the Wolverines. Ball at the Ohio State 44. Pair of tight ends, Campbell and Toomer. They'll run it. Thomas lost that ball, but he looked like he scooped it back up. And it was on the ground, and the whistles were blowing, so apparently it's still Michigan's ball, but certainly not certain that he made his first down. Jim Kimmerling, the referee, the man in the white hat.
I think the thing here that you have to remember, both sides, is not stop. Don't stop playing football. Michigan got some breaks. They're up 20 points. You know, don't stop playing. And the same is true for John Cooper's Buckeyes. A turnover, a pickoff, a fumble, the run the other way. We got a lot of time to play, and we certainly can score points. We've done it all year.
Well, it looked like the Bucks were going to turn the momentum a bit until that Weathers interception.
That was crucial.
Killer. Here's Floyd trying to wedge out a yard or so, and that's just about what he gets. 7.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Coming up, our regional games. Wisconsin is over at Penn State. Out west, Washington State, Washington and Seattle, UCLA, USC at the Coliseum. Big 12, Oklahoma State, Baylor, Maryland, Georgia Tech, and the ACC and Utah, BYU in a bit of a disappointing year for BYU, but look out. The history is that Lavelle Edwards Cougars come back after having a down year. And that ball is off the hands of Anthony Thomas. Couldn't reel it in. And so it's going to be third down.
The defensive backs, defensive coverage. I'm impressed with Ohio State defensively. Fred Puggich and his defensive group. Michigan has only scored 1 touchdown on this defensive group, and Winfield has been right there and been everywhere. The defensive backs, good coverage, and good against the run.
They got scored on a yard run, then a 78-yard punt return, and a 44-yard interception return. Third down and 9. And down goes Greasy behind the line of scrimmage with number 95, Jim Bell, out of Youngstown, fighting through there to get him for the sack. And Michigan will punt.
trying to run Woodson on that same route that he's had that long play on earlier. Did a better job of coverage.
Wolverines were in a position there with that good field position to start the possession. If they stuck it in the end zone there, I think this party's over. But it's still on at 20-0. And David Boston waits for Jason Benson's 8th punt of the day. Penalty flag. Not a very good kick. Will not be returned. It's out of bounds at about the 18-yard line. But let's see about the flag.
The Michigan end was moving when the ball was snapped.
It's only a 30-yard punt.
Interesting decision here. The ball's on the 19-yard line. I would think that Coop would have him repunt it and try and illegal shift on the offense. A lineman was moving. Repeat. Fourth down. 5-yard penalty.
Now for the Home Depot Coaches Fact today. These are the finalists for the Paul William Bryant Award, which will be given down in Houston. Lloyd Carr of Michigan is one of those. Tom Osborne of Nebraska, Joe Paterno, Penn State, Mac Brown, North Carolina, Jim Donnan, Georgia, and Joe Tiller over at Purdue. Those are the finalists. That's quite a festive event. I went to it. Enjoyed it very much.
3 Big Ten coaches on that list, I noticed.
So here's the re-kick after the penalty. Oh, it comes bouncing back, and it's almost blocked. I don't know how in the world he got it out, but he did. And it hits like a knuckleball, and it goes dead at about the 28-yard line. Percy King almost blocked it, and it was Percy King that blocked the extra point.
Here comes 17 from the left side.
Oh, shucks, he said. I almost had it. So Ohio State trailing 20-0 with 6:04 to play in the third quarter would start at their own 28-yard line. It's Joe Germain at quarterback. It's Pepe Pearson with the ball. Marcus Ray and company. Sam Sword et al. Will take him down, and here's John.
Keith, a couple of records set for North Carolina against Duke today, both on this play. Chris Keldorf, 59 yards to Octavius Barnes. That's 34 touchdown passes on his career for Keldorf. That's a Carolina record. 19 touchdown receptions for Barnes. That's a Carolina record. Keith, back to you.
Duke's gotten a little tougher in the tail end of the season.
Yes, they have. Doing well.
Second down and 4 for Ohio State. Germain looking to throw it. It's Miller. Miller's got the first down. Moves the ball out to the 44-yard line.
That's the first down for Joe Germain in this ball game.
Had time to look around. Hard to complete passes on your back. Or with a big old 300-pounder in your face trying to kill you.
Yeah, that's true. And, you know, they have confidence in Joe Germain to bring him back, Keith. I mean, he's done it before. I remember the Rose Bowl game last year where he was the most valuable player.
David Boston still has no receptions. Going big. Yeah, he's got one. Oh, my goodness. He turns around and taunts Charles Woodson. And he's going to take a flag for it. He caught the ball. He almost dropped that one, but he finally caught it. And the official on that side was right there, and as he taunted him, he threw the flag.
Single coverage. He just going to run right by him. Woodson is beat. Now he catches up and doesn't find the ball. Germain gets it out there, and David brings it in.
Oh, the officials have huddled now as to what to do about this. Here's the call. Unsportsmanlike conduct call against Ohio State.
And that comes on the extra point try.
Cooper is going to lay down some business to him on this.
And he's telling him right now, you can't do that. We're behind.
Well, it took away the dignity and class of the moment.
Well, that's true also. Very true.
15 yards on the try. The touchdown is good.
He had a great play. He had the touchdown of the ball game, and he tarnished it.
That's right.
Well, Keith, I think the most important thing here is that, you know, Ohio State's behind, but 3 touchdowns to give them 21 points if they convert. But right now, he has to go back to field goal range for the conversion for 1 point. If he doesn't make it, that means they've got to go for 2 just to be ahead by 1, Keith. It's a big mistake if he doesn't make it.
Dan Stoltz has a big leg. 35 yards. It's good. And so at 4:50 to play in the 3rd quarter, it's now 28-7. And like Yoke said, ain't over till it's over.
Well, that play got some respect back for Ohio State. Jermaine, it's going to give them some confidence coming back. Michigan's got to do something offensively.
Sort of reminds you of 1975. Here that is. Our Marriott moment, the 72nd meeting of this old rivalry, year 1975, a record NCAA crowd of 105,543 in Ann Arbor. It grew quiet as Ohio State scored 2 touchdowns in the last 3 minutes and 18 seconds to win the ball game 21-14 and send the Buckeyes to the Rose Bowl. Archie Griffin won his 2nd Heisman Trophy that year, though he got just 46 yards in this game. They went out and played UCLA in the Rose Bowl. Dick Vermeil's Bruins, and lost that game 23-10. And Archie broke a bone in his left hand and didn't get to go to the Hula Bowl, and he's still grumbling about it. Stoltz will kick off now for the Buckeyes at 4:50 to play in the 3rd quarter. This youngster's got a big leg. Yard deep in the end zone for Anthony Thomas. And Thomas is back to the 18-yard line. Brought down by Kevin Griffin. One more time for Kevin. And here's John.
Tennessee and Kentucky, and Peyton Manning is having quite a day. This one he just tosses out in the flats to Jamal Lewis. He does most of the work. 50 yards on the play, but for Manning just the same. His 4th touchdown pass of the day. He's 15 for 25 for 306 yards and has a 10-point lead. Keith.
50 yards on the play.
Yeah. Well, it's a good swing pass.
First down and 10. This is Anthony Thomas pounding ahead for about 5 yards. One thing about Tennessee is they've always, it seems to me, as long as I've been around them, going back almost to Neyland days, they do things with it after they catch it.
Well, they've always had good wide receivers.
Yes,
is what
they
you're
have.
saying.
Yep.
Michigan's offense today has had the ball 9 times, and they've punted it 8 of those 9 times. The other time they scored a touchdown.
2nd down and 4. Got 6 yards on that first down play. Greasy flushed. Goes to the 30, and that's a first down. Andy Katzenmoyer brought him down. And Andy could have laid a lick on him, but he didn't. He just made a tackle on him.
The one thing that Brian has done well all year is, first of all, taking care of the ball. And secondly, it seems like converting 3rd downs into 1st downs. Either throwing the ball or just scrambling and getting as much as you can and getting down.
Blitz coming. It's Moore, and they run it inside. Moore can't quite get there in time. And that blitzer was almost offside. Chris Floyd working inside with it. Number 52 getting up kind of tenderly for Michigan. That'd be Chris Zeman.
This offense has been good all year in taking the ball and keeping it. They lead the Big Ten in time of possession, and that's exactly what they want to do.
2nd and 8. First down. That's That's a tough run.
It was a well-blocked.
Good blocking.
And this is what Michigan wants. They want to take some time off the clock. The defense has played a lot in the second half. They want to just take some time, get the ball down there, and if anything, at least get 3 on the board.
.250 to play in the third quarter. Thomas now 38 yards on 9 carries and 57 yards on 5 catches. John Jansen's now moved over to the left tackle spot. Dave Brandt's moved up into the guard spot, and Zeman's gone over to a tackle. Another loss of a body in that offensive front. That tackle is made by Kevin Johnson on Anthony Thomas, and he'll pick up a couple of yards on the play. So Michigan rolling the clock right now. Ohio State with 2 times out remaining. Just getting on the scoreboard with that long pass play to Boston from Joe Germain. It's a 20-7 ball game. And a missed extra point is why it's 20-7. Blocked. Second down and 7. Thomas again. Boy, that's tough stuff. He's got another first down at the Ohio State 46-yard line. He put his hat on Gary Berry and drove him back 3 yards.
But one of the reasons, Keith, is because they got Katzenmoyer and got him out of the play. Here's a look at Katzenmoyer right here. Play is going to eventually come right up at him. Mike DeBoard was telling us yesterday that they wanted to run right at him.
Aaron Shea, number 36, the tight end, got a good hit on him as they doubled him. And you almost have to double him. First down for the Wolverines. Tubin has been pretty quiet today so far. Made one great catch. That's a ball on the ground, and the fight's on, and it's Ohio State's football. So the Wolverines turn it over at midfield. It was Jim Bell that laid the lick that knocked it loose. Rodney Bailey covered it with his big body.
Eventually, keep your patience and poise, things will turn around for you. And right there, 2 of the defensive linemen in the backfield making the hit.
Well, Keith, Bob, I got to tell you, that was a courageous effort by the Michigan offensive line because they're hurting pretty badly. Jeff Backus is not playing in their form because of that ankle, and Zach Adamy, guys, he had to literally pull himself up off the ground after every play, and he limped off the field. Keith?
All right, it's first down just inside the 50-yard line. Wolverines try to blitz. They do. They get to Jermaine. They knock him down. Rob Renus stopped initially, fought his way through the pile, and sacked the Ohio State quarterback. They were trying to go big.
They were looking downfield, Keith. And because it took too long, 58 is Renus right in the middle of the screen. Watch him as he's going to roll out of the block of Gilbert, 64. Renus not known for rushing the passer. In fact, came in with only 3 sacks on the year.
So it's a loss of very close to 10 yards. They're going to call it second down and 19. Put it back at the 40. This is Keller. And Steele and Williams get him. 81 Steele, 91 Josh Williams.
Michigan defense has only given up 3 touchdown passes on the year. Take a look at Steele from the other side of the field. He weighs 290 pounds, 6'5". He just hustling all over the place.
Into the third quarter. So it's 20-7, Michigan leading Ohio State. We'll be back after this and the word from our ABC station.
Kids are cool. Too cool for
for a family car. So check out a new Chevy Lumina LTZ. It could be the best disguised family car on the road. You'd never guess by looking at it, but no 6-passenger car in its class offers more standard safety features for the money. So don't worry. Get a Lumina LTZ. If that doesn't make your kids think you're cool, nothing will.
Sing too when you try Chili's Ranch and Filet, a beautifully carved 8-ounce tenderloin, slow grilled to perfection and placed on awesome blossom strings, served with skillet potato cakes and grilled veggies, only at Chili's.
It's payback time. John Elway and the Broncos have the AFC's best record and a score to settle with the Raiders on Monday Night Football.
Bring on the game now!
It is perhaps our most impressive safety advance ever. A Volvo that can save your soul. Introducing the all-wheel drive cross-country from Volvo.
You'll call it your window of opportunity. And there's one thing that's bound to attract a crowd. Festive decorations? Maybe. Pretty lights? Whoa. How about saving money? It's the Chevy Make Your Money Count year-end event where you can get low 2.9 APR financing or great cashback savings on a huge selection of Chevy cars and trucks. So don't forget, make your money count now at your Chevy dealer and save big.
See your local Chevy dealer today during the Make Your Money Count year-end event.
It is perhaps our most impressive safety advance ever. A Volvo that can save your soul. Introducing the all-wheel drive cross-country from Volvo.
Is the Jerry Springer Show too hot for TV? Watch Inside Edition.
This is college football on ABC Sports.
To the final quarter of play in this 94th renewal of Michigan-Ohio State, being played in Ann Arbor at Michigan Stadium. Michigan leads 20-7. Ohio State with the football, 3rd down and 17. Jermaine on the shotgun. Boston gets his second catch of the day in front of Ian Gold, but it is not a first down. So they'll have to punt on 4th and 3.
Well, they're lining up to punt. They ran the fake from their own 35-yard line, but I don't know if they do this twice in a row.
Woodson going deep for Bartholomew's kick. Woodson's got it at the 10. Needs a little help. He's in trouble. And he's down at the 10. Boys are getting pretty feisty now. Officials have to get in the middle of it quickly. So we've got a timeout.
The way you do things means a lot.
The way you do the things, the way you do all things.
And if you want things done well, you want to use Whirlpool. So many people do. It's no wonder that Whirlpool is #1 in customer satisfaction. Whirlpool helps you do the things you need to do so that you can do the things you want to do. Now that is a job well done.
There are two sides to every Monte Carlo. Monte Carlo. The side you show the world is up to you.
American
American Express and Thrifty Car Rental bring you a great travel offer. So call Thrifty Car Rental at 1-800-4CARS. Not only does Thrifty have great rates on great cars available 24 hours a day at one easy number, use your American Express card right now for a midsize car for only $36.95 a day. Just $36.95 a day for American Express card members. Call 1-800-4CARS or your professional travel agent. It's quick, it's easy, and best of all, it's thrifty.
Tonight, a groundbreaking practice.
Shut it off.
Walk in the shoes of a dead man.
A man is waiting to die. You may be his last hope.
The practice. ABC tonight.
20-7 ball game, 14:04 to play. And tonight at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on ESPN college football doubleheader. Alabama-Auburn Iron Bowl. It's in Auburn this year. And Auburn still has a shot at the SEC championship game as the Western rep. Big battle in the Southeastern Conference. And then at 10:30 Eastern time on ESPN, Colorado State and San Diego State in the WAC from San Diego. A big day of football on ESPN.
A new center in there for Michigan, Keith.
Had to do it because Adamy could barely stand up. The pass is away to the sidelines to Anthony Thomas from the 10-yard line. And he's out of bounds somewhere in the neighborhood of the 17-18.
What you got in there now for Michigan?
Oh, it's still Adamy.
Is it Adamy in there? Okay.
He can hardly move around, but he's in there. Well, if they have to take him out and he's got a strained muscle, then Steve Frazier's listed behind him, but it's possible that Jensen, I guess, could go.
Well, they've already moved 3 guys around that offensive line right now.
It's been a tough day on the offensive front. Ball is dropped by Greasy, and he'll take it and take the hit. Did not get off the snap cleanly.
Well, Adamy has a strained muscle in his lower back. And if he can't get the ball up right, then that's, you do have to get him out of there.
They'll have to do something.
Yeah. Because that's the first thing that the center has to do is get the center quarterback exchange.
At 13.5 minutes to play, it's Michigan ball, 3rd down and 4, just outside their own 15. A punt from here is going to give Ohio State very good field position, and they're coming. It is picked up by the Buckeyes, and it is down at about the 2-yard line. Jerry Rudzinski knocked the ball loose. Gary Berry knocked it loose, and Rudzinski covered it.
The thing that set this whole thing up, Keith, was the punt down inside the 10-yard line. And then Bryant trying to get some yardage outside. Berry is the free safety. He's in on a blitz, does a nice job of stripping. And Ohio State is right back in this ball game.
1st and goal to go at the 2-yard line. Number 35 is Rudzinski diving on it. At 13:12 to play in the ball game. And it very quickly can be a 20-14 ball game. Turnovers.
Good every time.
Yes, sir. Germain to Pearson. There's Rudzinski, who covered that fumble. There's the man who caused it. There's the man who scored the touchdown for the Buckeyes.
The emotions of the game, Keith, just a short while ago, Ohio State was down by 20. A big play to Boston, a turnover, and a touchdown. They're right back in it.
The punter, Bartholomew, holds for the extra point. Stoltz will kick it. Snapper is Kevin Hauser. Good. Just a 6-point ball game now with 13:08 to play.
Budweiser withstood the test of time. It has over 120-year heritage. That heritage is there for one simple reason: because of the people, the behind the brand Budweiser, and most importantly, because quality was never compromised. Beer is like a food, and just like any natural food with no additives and preservatives, fresh food does indeed taste better. A beer is the best it will ever be when it leaves the brewery. You can look exactly at how fresh Budweiser is through our born-on dating system. It tells you when that product was made and how fresh that product is in the marketplace. There's a lot of pride and tradition in the beer business, and that's what we're about. We're about people, about families, and about selling the highest quality beer products in the world.
Your kids give you plenty to worry about. Your car shouldn't. That's why you need a Chevy Lumina. It'll go up to 100,000 miles before its first scheduled tune-up. So get a Lumina and relax. They'll grow out of it. You did, didn't you? And check out Lumina's resale value.
Percy King right there made a big play earlier in the ball game. It was on an extra point try by Michigan. Number 17 skied and got up and blocked it, and that's the difference. If Ohio State takes a touchdown and scores it, they'll be up by 6 points. Michigan only up by 6 points. That is a key block in this ball game right now, Keith. Both coaches on the sidelines.
Buckeyes kick it off. Stoltz hammers it. Coming up on it is Anthony Thomas. And Thomas gets it out to about the 33-yard line. So now let's see who comes out for the Michigan offense. Chris Howard has not been heard from in a long time. Anthony Thomas has been doing most of the work.
And Keith, let me tell you why Chris Howard has not been heard from. He is down on the sideline in street clothes and an overcoat. He came down that way in the second half. He suffered a minor concussion in the second half. We did not hear about it. So when he just came back, he blended in. So he's on the sideline with a concussion, Keith.
All right. Roll it out and throw it off the hands of Aaron Shea. Tight end.
Somebody's got to make a play for Michigan. They're losing their offensive players. Their left tackle, Backus, is out. Howard, the running back, and one of the seniors is out of the ball game. Adamy, the center, is struggling with a strain. The momentum is wearing a white shirt here right now, Keith.
Ray Jackson was in on that play as the single back. Now Anthony Thomas goes back in with Chris Floyd. So Ray Jackson comes out. That puts Anthony Thomas back into the deep back position, and he gets the ball. Buckeyes bring him down at about the 35-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 8.
This Buckeye defense has been good all day long. As we mentioned, the Wolverines offense only scoring 1 touchdown. The other 2 came by the defense and a punt return.
12 and a half minutes to play.
Offense, 11 times, 8 punts, 2 fumbles.
They show blitz. Passes away to Thomas. Thomas has the first down at the 45-yard line. So this big freshman from Louisiana stepping in for the injured Howard, doing a pretty good job.
It's a big play for Michigan. 3rd down, they get to keep the ball. Here comes the blitz. Everybody's blitzing. He's going to hit the back out of the backfield. This man up here's got a coverage. Top left of your screen's got the coverage.
Thomas now has 75 yards on 7 catches. That's given to Chris Floyd, the fullback, and he's good for 2. Time very precious now for both teams. We're in the 4th quarter. 20-14 Michigan. It was 20-0 at halftime.
Freddie Puggage, the defensive coordinator for Ohio State, is bringing somebody, linebackers or DBs, safeties, on every snap.
second down. Penalty flag. Everybody pointing at each other. And I think the movement's on the Michigan side, the offensive line.
Dead ball, false start on the offense. 5 yards, second down.
So it'll be second down and 13. So 11 minutes and 21 seconds to play in the football game. It's movement there by Hutchinson, the left guard. But they're getting a little antsy now because they're dinged up, short of people. And the Ohio State defense is putting the heat on. Pass to the sidelines to Anthony Thomas, and a sure solid tackle by Antoine Winfield.
This young man is playing an outstanding game, Keith. If he doesn't make that tackle, the receiver can run up the field, make almost a first down. He's really playing a good game.
For a 180-pounder, I think it's been remarkable because he's taken on some big people.
Yeah, and his job is to cover the fast wide receivers. Charles Woodson, like Charles, he's in the ball game right now.
Third down and 12. Trips at the top of the picture. They got him. Rodney Bailey, freshman defensive end. And he sacks Greasy, and it's fourth down, Michigan. So from a 13-0 lead at the break to a 20-0 just after the half. Here's Ohio State about to get the ball in probably pretty good field position. Benson's punt. Bear caught at the 26-yard line by David Boston. So if you are a Michigan fan, you might want to take a deep breath and hang on.
Finally, celebrities who actually use the product. Team Monte Carlo. Chevrolet, the cars more champions trust.
There's a medical emergency, but no hospital. What do you do? Build one. Leadership. Learn it now in the Army Reserve. Use it now in your career.
Papa's got a brand new bag. And this is crazy scene. It's not too fancy, but it's fine and pretty clean. It ain't no drag. Papa's got a brand new bag. Hey! Come on. Hey, hey!
The aluminum in your car radiator is as thin as this sheet, and it's the only thing between you and a breakdown. But Prestone Antifreeze bonds with aluminum, forming a zone of protection against corrosion and temperature extremes. Protect your car in the Prestone zone.
ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Genuine Chevrolet, the cars more Americans trust. By the Home Depot, America's home improvement coach. By Domino's Pizza, who brings you their newest crust sensation, Pesto Crust. And United Artists, Tomorrow Never Dies, starring Pierce Brosnan, opens everywhere December 19. That's Andy Katzenmoyer walking around. The Ohio State defense has been kind of taking control of this football game now and giving their offense some opportunities to move it. It's at the 27-yard line. First down, Ohio State. 9:58 to play in the game. Michigan 20, Ohio State 14. Joe Germain is the quarterback. That carry to Pepe Pearson. And it's good for 6 yards. The crowd today. New stadium record at Michigan Stadium. 106,900 182.
They're counting all the people up here in the press box, too.
They count everybody. And it goes in the books, and it'll be second down and a short 5. This is Pearson. Second effort, close to a first down. I was reading through the Michigan scrapbook that I have one from Ohio State. Somebody put together, and they're fun to have. But it's incredible how Don Cannon with marketing turned it, and with the success of Bo Schembechler as a coach and now Lloyd Carr, the crowds that they draw here. Pepe Pearson, tough back, senior.
I'm sure Lloyd Carr is wondering what's happened here. He knows the momentum has changed. He knows his top 2 running backs are out. Clarence Williams was out before the game. Now Chris Howard, probably his most valuable player on offense, is out. He doesn't have a lot of offense going. Some of his offensive linemen are hurting. And now Ohio State has the momentum. He needs something from his defense.
Third down on the first down from the 37 now for Ohio State. And that first down was solely the possession of Pearson. They blitz, they break it, and move the football again for a big gain by Pearson all the way to the 48-yard line. So the Buckeyes now are starting to blow some holes in the middle.
Well, Gilbert and Murphy, the right guard and center, and the fullback just gets a stalemate with Sam Sword right in. Right there, there's a stalemate with Keller and Sword. That's all you need. That's a got man for Keller.
So first down Buckeyes at their own 48. 8:45 to play in the game. They trail by 6. This is Pearson. Now you're getting Woodson out of the secondary and Weathers out of the secondary, and Hendricks coming up trying to stop the Ohio State running game.
Mentioned early on, the Michigan defense came in ranked #1 in the country. Well, they're up 6 points. They've got to stop Ohio State from moving down the field. But Ohio State is running right through them right now.
The middle of the Ohio State offensive front, a redshirt freshman and 3 sophomores. Second down and 3. This is Keller. And he's just short of his first down, or at least it seems so from where they've marked it. Pearson getting very close to 100 yards. He has 91, I believe it is. 7:40 to play in the game. And Ohio State just bumping it along, going in the right direction and going at a steady pace.
Time is not a concern now for Ohio State. They have run the last 4 or 5 plays for a very nice average.
It is a concern, however, for Michigan, because if they keep grinding it out on the ground here, there's a hard tackle by Marcus Ray on the ball carrier Pearson, but he's got his first down. If they continue at this pace, Bob, they're going to be down around maybe 3 minutes by the time they get it in the end zone. Then the time becomes critical.
If they can get it in the end zone, as I've seen the Michigan offense the last 3 series, they really look crippled.
Yep.
They don't have their inspirational leader in Howard. Their linemen are banged up.
Pearson. Josh Williams behind the line of scrimmage. Back to the 45-yard line. That's a big play. That might put him in a position where they'll force him to throw it now.
91 is Josh Williams right there. He fights off 2 men. Keller is oversized, overmatched, blocking Josh Williams.
It'll be second down and about 15. Pearson is way out top of the picture as a wide Lets it go down the middle, and it is incomplete. Intended for D. Miller. At least he was the closest man to the ball. But I'm not sure that he was expecting it. It might have been Boston they had
I think he was throwing it for Boston. I think he only has eyes for Boston in that situation. And that was a dangerous throw because Boston was trying to fight his way through traffic and was not looking for the ball.
Ball is on the 45-yard line. 3rd down and about 5.
3rd and 15.
Excuse me,
Yeah.
15.
You look at the short line.
15. They're trying to count. See where they are. The 6 up front. Now they peel off. Jermaine rolls. He's looking for Miller. He's not there. They go the other way, and it is incomplete. Intended for David Boston in front of Marcus Ray. And Boston went down flat of his back and may be out of air for just a moment.
That was a dash route. They call it dash. Mike Jacobs, the offensive coordinator, getting him outside the pocket as we look at Boston still on the ground.
He went down very hard, went way up in the air, and is going to come down right on his shoulder blades.
He did.
So you've got a timeout for Boston at 5:54 to play in the football game. 20-14 Michigan. It is 4th down and 15 for Ohio State when we come back.
Everybody likes trucks. If you're going to do something with a career, why not do something you really like?
We have over 300,000 options on these trucks.
Not many companies in the world build customized products on the assembly line.
Okay. Okay. Oh, it's a Dash 13, yeah.
You can have 9 speeds, 10 speeds, 13 speeds, 15 speeds, dual fans, single fans, tow boards, all different kinds of heaters, custom upholstery.
No decal.
I would tell our competitors today, stay in your manual world. Don't think about utilizing technology, and we'll see you and where you are in about 5 years.
America has always had a love affair with cars. And since 1922, we've been there whenever you've needed us. That's why we're America's favorite auto insurer.
And as we celebrate our 75th year, we, the agents
and employees of State Farm,
would just like to say thanks for being there too.
Okay, the old deck is ready for another shuffle at 4th down and 15. Bartholomew is in. Ohio State's going to punt, and Woodson goes back for Michigan. Obviously, they'd like to kill the ball down inside the 10-yard line if they can.
Well,
which means Bartholomew is going to stick it in the clouds.
Now here's the situation. There's 5 minutes and 54, almost 6 minutes left to play. Ohio State has 2 timeouts left. Obviously, they're feeling that they could kick it down there, stop Michigan, and get the ball back in plenty of time, in good field position.
Snap's good. Kick is high and hanging. Woodson comes up for a fair catch at the 17, so it's not as deep as they wanted. Michigan's ball, 1st down. Tomorrow on The Wonderful World of Disney, the network premiere, one of the best holiday movies ever, Tim Allen starring in The Santa Claus. Then Oscar winner Timothy Hutton puts the pieces of his life together, or he'll be dead by midnight, an ABC world premiere movie tomorrow night. 5:48 the time. Adamy is out there. Dragging her left. Strain in the lower back. Ryan Greasy is at quarterback. Chris Floyd is the fullback. And he bangs in for about 3, maybe 4 yards. He gets it out to the 21. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it'll be 2nd down and 7. The clock, however, is now running Ohio State with 2 times out remaining probably want to save at least one, but they're going to have to spend them eventually if Michigan picks up a couple of first downs.
Exactly, and that's what Michigan wants. First downs. And this is a critical defensive series for Ohio State. Stop them, make them go 3 and out.
Michigan's got enough points, I think, if they can move it on down the field a couple of first downs. This is Floyd, and they're looking for him now, and he's down right at the line of scrimmage with Rodney Bailey leading the defensive surge. And Floyd is hurt.
Floyd is their big fullback, Keith, their blocking fullback, and he is not their primary runner. This is a tailback offense, and the tailbacks have been Howard and Clarence Williams and Thomas.
Floyd comes out now, and Thomas is back in.
Thomas is a true freshman.
Demetrius Smith is at fullback. Greasy back throws it to Thomas, and ball's thrown very quickly and quite hard, and he couldn't reel it in. Anthony Thomas trying to run that wide receiver screen into the middle. Demetrius Smith is that big 270-pound freshman fullback, but he was not involved in that play. It was between Greasy and Thomas, and it didn't work, and now Michigan's going to give it right back to him with 4:23 to play. Benson, spinning kick, some room for Berry. Penalty flag as Berry is tackled short of the 45. Well, let's see about the penalty. That's the man to watch right there in the white hat. It's against Ohio State. Fist is closed. That's holding. Here's John.
Keith, you're trying to sort out things in the Big Ten. Coming up next in the Pac-10, great quarterback Cade McNown of UCLA. He'll try and get the Bruins to the Rose Bowl as they face USC. Ryan Leaf of Washington State, another terrific quarterback. If they win, they'll have a shot to go to the Rose Bowl. That's all coming up next. Remember, check local listings for the game available in your area, and we'll keep you up to date. Right now, let's take it back out to Keith.
So the record crowd of 106,982 now comes up to try to help their home defense as Ohio State comes to the attack for the first down at their own 32-yard line. The quarterback is Joe Germain. David Boston is back in the lineup, having had the wind knocked out of him. Germain's pass down the middle intended for Lumpkin is too high. Marcus Ray was covering, but Lumpkin could not run it down.
Well, there's a look at Joe Germain. He's brought this team back before. Last January in the Rose Bowl against Arizona State. Now he's trying to do it here to give Ohio State a chance to get back to the Rose Bowl.
Pepe Pearson ran into Glenn Steele and Josh Williams and James Hall. 91, not 81.
Well, Glenn Steele, 81, and Hall, 56. Right there to greet him.
Here it was Hall. He's very quick. He's almost a linebacker type at that defensive end position. The loss is 3 yards. It is 3rd down and 13 for Ohio State. 3.5 minutes to play. Glenn Steele with a second successive big defensive play. Back to the 25-yard line.
There are critical times when you cannot take a sack. There's Steele on the other side working against Walter, 77. There's a coverage sack. The guys downfield were covered, and Joe Germain doesn't have the footwork that Stanley does to get out of there.
Bartholomew's punt. Woodson comes up and calls for a fair catch. And it'll be Michigan football at their own 38-yard line with 2 minutes and 41 seconds to play in this game. And Michigan goes on, picks up the first down. Maybe need 2 because of the 2 Ohio State timeouts. Then the Wolverines might be rejoicing in a trip to the Rose Bowl.
Keith, I played a lot of football, and I remember there are certain times in a game like this that all you need are first downs. Just get me 10 yards and let that clock run.
Anthony Thomas, the freshman from Louisiana, a 220-pounder, 25-pounder, running behind Steve Hutchinson, gets a pretty good chunk right there, about 5 yards.
Michigan offense, they only run 4 or 5 different basic plays, Keith. Ohio State knows what's coming. Michigan's going to run their best play. It's just a matter who blocks it and who tackles it the best.
Backus is back in there with that sore ankle at tackle. Jeff Backus. They give him 4 yards and call it second down, a short 6. Thomas again, bouncing outside. Damon Moore coming over to help Andy Katzenmoyer. It's pretty hard to run east and west against these Ohio State linebackers. It really is.
Did a nice job of moving his line just before the snap of the ball. Best up the blocking side.
Buckeyes have 1 timeout remaining.
Thrifty has some great numbers for you, starting when you call this number, 1-800-4CARS. Get great cars and great rates like a Dodge Neon or other compact for just $29.95 a day. Plus, earn up to 2,750 Advantage miles from Thrifty with our Rent-to-Earn program. You have our number, 1-800-4CARS, or call your professional travel agent. It's fast, it's affordable, and best of all, it's thrifty.
We meet on Rachel's on Saturdays and eat Domino's Pizza. She orders at least 3. Our favorite is the large deep dish with everything. Extra cheese and toppings. My cousin and I always grab a slice of Domino's on our way to play, unless there's more.
Order a medium ultimate deep dish pizza with up to 3 toppings for $8.99 and get a second pizza of equal or lesser value for $4.99.
Domino's, delivering a million smiles a day.
Presenting the Valvoline Big Play Rebate and Sweepstakes. Save $4 on a case of Valvoline motor oil, and you could win one of 6 Mark Martin signature Ford Thunderbirds. Here comes Mark now. He's up and right on the money. Valvoline, the #1 choice of top mechanics.
Bond, James Bond.
On December 19th, the world belongs to Bond.
Grow up, 007. I'd never dream of it.
Tomorrow Never Dies. Rated PG-13. Starts Friday, December 19th.
It is 3rd down and 7 with 1 minute and 50 seconds remaining in the ball game. Michigan 20, Ohio State 14. The Buckeyes have 1 timeout remaining. Very briefly this, if Michigan wins this football game, they're going to Pasadena. They have not had a national championship at Michigan since 1948. 3rd down and 7. They really sorely need a first down. The blitz is coming. The ball is thrown. They're lucky to get it back. My goodness, that was almost intercepted.
Tried a little quick screen, and the blitz was there.
Blitz was coming, and no chance for that thing to work at all. Almost went the other way.
Tried to get the ball to Thomas. You see Katzenmoyer right there. He was going to Thomas the whole way. Michigan fortunate that ball was not picked off.
Now it's Michigan's punter back in. Benson, his 11th punt of the day. And Gary Barry is waiting for it for Ohio State. Barry standing back just inside the 20. Low kick. Hits the ground. Tail dragger rolling toward the sidelines. No return at the 16-yard line. And a minute 35 to play in the game. Now, just briefly bring you up on what if Ohio State suddenly scores and wins this ball game. Well, then you'll have to wait a while before you know what's going to happen to the Buckeyes. Because if they jump in the polls to number 2, they go to the Rose Bowl. But if they jump to number 3, then they are eligible for an Alliance Bowl, which pays $8.5 million, and Michigan would go to the Rose Bowl.
If Michigan should lose and be in a three-way tie, then they would be the Rose Bowl team. That's what you're saying.
Yes. If Penn State can get by Wisconsin today and Ohio State loses here, the Lions become an Alliance Bowl probability. Joe Germain under pressure, throws. It is incomplete. He threw on his way down, and Jim Kimberling says, nothing doing. You're down right here at the line of scrimmage. Glenn Steele one more time.
Glenn Steele stepping up. What is this, his 3rd sack today? He came in with 5. Big guys, big players step up in big games, and Steele has done that today.
Germain from near his goal line throws, and it is incomplete, intended for Dave Miller, and Woodson is jumping up and down.
Woodson.
The ball went right between his hands.
Almost picked that off.
Charles almost had another one. That's 1 minute and 10 seconds. That little clock up there in the corner, that'll tell you your time. Ball is on the 9-yard line. It is 3rd down and 17.
Ohio State is down in the closed end where the students are, Keith. It is the loudest part of the stadium.
Pass completed to Boston. David Boston. Down at the 16 by Ian Gold. They've got to go to the 26 to get a first down.
The clock keeps running. It's not a first down, so it's 4th down.
50 seconds. Intercepted. Incomplete. Sam Sword almost had it, and the ball came out. Ian Gold was the man that touched it first and deflected it.
Here's the 4th down play. He's going right over the middle. There are 3 or 4 Wolverines there. But he's going to Boston, his money man, and that's where all the Wolverines were.
Sam Sword almost had an interception, but it was Ian Gold in front and knocked the ball up in the air and almost tipped it back to a teammate. But it was 4th down, and Michigan owns the football down at the Ohio State 19-yard line with 23 seconds to play. Well, let's watch the play. Listen to this crowd, a record crowd. So Michigan goes to the Rose Bowl and are still in the hunt for their first national championship since 1948. They are 11-0. What do you say, Pop?
Well, he wanted to come back to get Michigan to the Rose Bowl. He'd be a part of that. And I'm really happy for him. I'm proud of him. I never thought a Big Ten team would go through the conference undefeated.
I didn't either. Conference too tough. But there it is. And we have a little bit of history in that we have a pair of cornerbacks who are the most valuable players. There's your announcement. Gary Dorn, if he could find his way down there and get to Lloyd Carr, will have a bouquet of roses for him. But I don't know if he can manage it. The Chevrolet most valuable players of the game are, for Ohio State, Antoine Winfield. I've never seen a cornerback play a better game on defense than he did today.
How about the other guy?
The other guy played offense brilliantly. 134 all-purpose yards, as well as 3 tackles and an interception and a punt return for a touchdown. But we've come to expect that from Charles Woodson, haven't we? Chevrolet will donate $1,000 to each school's general scholarship fund to reward outstanding students. It's been a Chevy tradition for more than a quarter century.
You can't say enough about Lloyd Carr. He started off this season saying, we want to finish. We want to get to where we want to go and finish what we want to do. And he told us that yesterday, and they certainly came out here and finished.
President Jerry Ford, who once wore the maize and blue here, showed up at practice on Tuesday here in town, and he talked to the team for about 3 minutes. And he said there have been great games played in the past and great games played this year, and you've come back and survived. But, he said, there may never be one bigger than the one you will play on Saturday. For which Lloyd Carr said, thank you very much, Mr. President. However, Jerry was to some degree correct, because this is Michigan's all-time win number 775, and I agree with former President Ford. There may not have been any bigger. We hope you enjoyed it. Final score, Michigan 20, Ohio State 14. John, you all can work the rest of the day. We're going to supper.
All right, thanks a lot. And, you know, one of the interesting matchups about this game is 2 of the most maligned coaches in the conference, also 2 of the most successful coaches.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, John Cooper, over the last 3 years, 32-4 coming into the ball game, another tough loss to Michigan. And Lloyd Carr, when the season started, all anybody could say about Lloyd Carr was he was not the kind of coach that could get Michigan to this point. I'll tell you what, he's done a great job this year keeping his team focused and hungry through the entire season. This team got better and better each week.
Towards the end of the game, you made the comment to me, Michigan's defense has been best all year. They'll hold here. You were right.
Yeah, well, they had to count it. They counted on their defense all year. The offense kind of went in a shell there in the 4th quarter, and you counted on the defense. The defense made the plays they had to make to win at the end. It was a great Michigan defense all season.
All right, let's check one score for you. Tennessee against Kentucky. This one has been a wild affair. The Volunteers up 45-24. Peyton Manning with 5 touchdown passes, tying his old school record. Let's let you know what's coming up next. Well, we've solved things in the Big Ten. In the Pac-10, it will be wild. Take a look at that UCLA and USC game. It has implications. Washington State and Washington as well. Check local listings for the game in your area, and we, of course, will keep you up to date on all of these games throughout the afternoon, and we'll see you at halftime as well. We'll be back with college football in 37 seconds.
You're watching ABC.
Close up on Molly. A mom about to dive headfirst into the dating pool and wondering if she could still swim. Tonight, her teenage daughter would be the one waiting up till 1 a.m. This cracked Molly up, and she realized she still had a